Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that was culturally enriching. I really do appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, welcome back, everybody. So where we left off, the party has consolidated on the stern wreckage of the multi-layered cod, and going through doing a little bit of searching, a very interesting book has been uncovered. One in which is somehow magically enchanted. The party found out that they have been had repeated ambushes placed in front of them as the group rushes to be able to rescue what they believe to be one of Genji's long-lost siblings. And so we pick up. You guys have left the Flaming Fist party, the Maroon survivors that are on their way to Camp Vengeance to then be able to hook up. Most likely once the Waygate, the summoning circle, or teleportation circle rather, once that is in place, you think they'll be able to get home and get home safely. So as you were starting to move your way forward, you guys had decided that we're still going to be measured in how we move. We're not going to be just rushing headlong into it. And Genji, emboldened by his father visiting him this morning, has a willpower unsurpassed, as this is the fulfillment truly of a very major, if not total portion, depending on who is located with the group coming up, for him to be able to solve a pretty major issue from his past that we're starting to be able to visit and understand. So the morning has set up. You guys began your movement forward. On the horizon, you hear the crash of thunder and the roll of it as it is almost unfurling itself across this valley. You've spent the better part of your contemplative hours this morning readying your equipment, understanding what is going to be asked of you going forward, and you want to make sure that all your kit is right. You start progressing your way out. We rolled the first few hours checks, and so we are approaching a midday, and I need a survival check. You can assist.
I will assist. 12.
Okay.
No, it was a 15, but I moved my mouse and it rolled. That wasn't ominous at all.
Ruh-roh.
So, so you guys start running off, heading down, and the topography, you have these valleys and rises that you're coming over. The canopy in the jungle is starting to open up, and sure enough, you find that you're crossing small little inlets, almost like the pools that you'd find in a holler, as they're the flooding tributaries of some of the major rivers. And so this kind of river system that you're running across, you're alternating between getting your feet really muddy and wet to they finally start drying out, and you're able to regain a good amount of rigor in your travel. The problem you have is that the areas where it's super muddy, clearly you can tell that there are individuals that you're tracking, that humans had made markings around this area just because of how purposeful that they're left. So they're trying to pick up pace. I need everybody to roll a perception check.
I like those.
23.
17.
14.
10. 20.
So, this works out great.
Birds on the screen.
Yeah. So, Volker and Bronson
It's Valka.
are. Hello, my name is Valka.
Yes, my name is Valka.
I'm God.
We've had multiple conversations. My name is Valka.
What would you like
I'm
for
a
breakfast?
Correcting the narrator now.
The fourth wall has been shut. So you guys at either end of the column, you are detecting movement. Both Valkyr more to your left, Bronson somewhere behind you as you're walking, and off this way.
Okay.
You guys are hearing the same amount of jungle noises of different animals scurrying about, hisses. You hear the groan of the boughs of trees as further up, wind currents are going through. It's relatively calm down at where the level you were at, but you find a decent gust as you're starting to cross some of these water areas. We get to, like I said, roughly about midday, and you guys have just exited out of a low water crossing, and you all of a sudden Bronson freezes, which causes the rest of you guys to stop, and you're looking around, and off to your left, the noise that you hear, you look out. He's kind of detecting that's going on, and he's stopped the movement of your element. You look out there, and you see what looks almost like a boar skull move along and disappear into some foliage.
Okay, I'll communicate that to the group.
Valko wants some truffles in his
I was gonna say, lads, I think he's hungry. It's time to stop for a snack, and he needs to pig out.
I think he's saying there's something to the
boar's
bushes.
head.
Yeah, the boar.
Boar's head does make some of the finest sliced meats I've ever had.
Running through the woods.
I do declare.
I think that may be something wearing the boar's skull.
I'm gonna take my
Investigation?
Yeah. Well,
I want to know if tribes in this area would wear the skulls of their animals.
so it wouldn't be that. Do a history or a survival check.
I want you to know.
The giant.
I want you to
16.
know.
So you remember in talking with the Order of the Gauntlet guys,
I remember.
Undrill, he was talking about how the goblins would typically wear these painted bone skulls as masks, and you guys have seen that before. You think that may be what you were seeing disappearing back
We
into
should
the
set up a
foliage.
trap for the little buggers.
If only I had harvested traps earlier. Oh, wait.
That's a good point.
So he tells Bronson's going to tell everybody to get low.
Get low, get low, get low.
I put my crossbow away and I have my shield out because I want to be able to.
Bronson's going to hand two of the traps over to Valkyr and go, tear down the wall. Set up some traps.
Right, so how we,
Sneak out to that tree and run a line across to that other set of trees there.
Okay.
my lady Santana, get to the back of the line.
Oh yeah, she needs protection.
You know me. Hide
Which
behind the tree over
direction
there.
was it? Did you say?
That
Using this thing?
That way.
Okay, to the east.
To the east.
To the windows, to the wall.
Got it.
Till all these goblins crawl.
I'm only moving the NPCs, guys.
So the
Captain,
grapes
keep an
drip
eye
down these walls.
on your gnomes, friend. What's Knocker? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Knocker. Stay with Genji. Where he goes, you go.
I will follow Genji.
Wow. Real sharp tool again.
So here's a question: we're not going to use the terrain on the map though? We're going to stick to the physical terrain as what that could actually like.
Well, we could just do
Both,
this.
right?
Look, move
Kinda-
that there,
Kind of point 'em.
and then move
Sink 'em a
that
little.
there,
Yeah.
and then we can move that there.
I put those on actual
there.
trees.
That one can go right here, right? That's a big tree. Or do you
Two
want something in
those?
that? We can use one of the little ones right there.
Oh, we have
Well,
trees?
no, there's other stuff, right?
Let's see, move that clump. Yeah. There you go.
You need another thing
Turn
to
it up.
represent a tree.
You got 2 right there.
Only have had a friend who had a 3D printer.
Trees are terrible.
I have a ton. I have
They're
a ton
the
of
worst
trees.
things.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'll bring them
You can
next
just
time.
make these.
Like these?
Yeah, I just bought a bunch
they're
of
not
these
quite
too.
this- they're not quite that big, but I do have a ton of trees.
Is there a house?
That's ruins, right?
Is there a cave? Is there a cave? What's that from?
A Zerg?
13 Warrior.
13 Warrior.
Yeah, dude, one of the best movies ever made.
Amen. I tell people that all the
Great
time.
movie.
I love that movie.
I was just watching
What's
Crawl.
going on?
What
Kroll.
a masterpiece that is.
Kroll? Oh,
Yeah.
Troll's good.
great.
The
Liam Neeson.
Glaive
Yeah.
and the Cyclops.
Cyclops is hideous looking, but the movie's beautiful.
Yeah, Dave.
Every scene is just such a
I'll get it back.
cool
I'm starting to download.
background. They got to a
Okay.
new area and you're like, damn, this movie is sick. Even though it's terrible, it's also great. Getting ready for more Ready Player One party. You gotta rewatch every movie that ever came out ever.
There you go.
That's a great movie.
How are we looking?
Really good.
So, as you guys are moving through, you see, the area on the ground is kind of opened up some as you've been going through these low water crossings, and you're seeing remnants of buildings. These don't, like, they're all stone from what you see there, so imagine that thing as built up stone, but it looks as if it was, at least at one point, some kind of settlement down in the area. And as you've been continuing forward, you recall and kind of think back, we have been seeing, you saw at the top of the hill where you had the fight with the big troll, and you guys were all tied together, that there was, stonecraft capability in the area.
Okay.
This, from an architectural standpoint and the way that the stones are lining up, looks to be kind of the same origin of technology and craft type. As you guys have looked at ruins for like the House of Man and Crocodile, these look like they were done after that one. Like they were built up and something has happened since, but after the other.
So
Doctor,
are we gonna?
go lay that trap for the goblins that are no doubt crawling around in the foliage.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the east and start laying some traps. Do we need to have like a little trap thing?
Little traps. Little trap things.
Okay. What do you want to use? Black?
No, I need 3 reds for me.
Let's use some blacks. How many traps do I have from him?
He gave you 2.
2?
And do these.
Okay, and then
Something specific.
I mean,
we are actually right here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Snoop around.
Yeah.
Get up, get up, get up.
Trying to see, there's no like shaping. Are these area traps?
Yeah,
Yeah, how do
they
these
would
work?
cover. What we
So
can
it's
do
a-
is put a marker down on where you want the trigger to be,
Okay.
and then you have where you've actually hidden the trap. So for them perceiving it, they would perceive the initiation device less than doing a perception check to see where like the full blown trap is.
So
Yeah, because it's like it shoots a dart.
Yeah,
Right.
So you could
Plant the
conceivably where you guys are at,
Yeah.
grab a tree over here and say, this is where I want it aimed, or
So this would be the dart, the
Okay, so-
mechanism, and then this is the trigger.
yeah.
Okay,
Is
so
that how it is? It's
And
a
you'd
plate
you'd
type
have
thing?
well,
Or
I
is
mean,
it-
you could do a pressure plate, whatever
think
you
it'd be
guys
tripwire.
have, resources to do. Usually, it's some kind of a tripwire
Yeah.
or something like that.
Run a tripwire to that far tree.
well, but then you're saying like that whole thing's covered.
Whatever.
Because I think what he's saying is like this will be an area.
But you have to have a so you could have like the front of the column is what I'm saying is where you would place the trap.
Yeah.
And say I want whenever something hits here, that thing shoots to a spot.
Yeah.
So so what about the way I have it now? These two, and then here's the dart, and here's the dart.
Okay.
Okay.
So whenever somebody steps into that square, you want it
Oh,
to
but only one square.
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, these are darts, not JDAMs.
All right, we'll go
What's that?
here.
It's a huge bunker buster.
Mother of all
Yeah.
bomb.
The Moab.
JDAM. It's a GPS guided bomb.
Welcome, commander.
Something that I wish we had right
Well,
now.
we can pick them back up if they don't get triggered.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Hey,
And
you
then
know,
you can plant yours. Too.
you know where we probably could have used the JDAM? Against Strahd.
Sure.
I don't think
Yeah,
vampires
go ahead and
can
plant
live
the third
through
one then.
Immolation.
Let's just have you plant all three of them.
What do I know?
We have 3 or 4.
3.
I only, have the most experience with the group. by
You're just
living.
saying by being older?
Just put it right between the others.
Well, I mean, I lived through
Okay.
three characters.
So you're the youngest here.
I would say that I had the most experience in that campaign. Cumulatively, across the depths.
Oh man.
Side note, did we make a subtle transition from XP to...
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
To waypoints or
after section
checkpoints?
2,
Yeah.
Didn't want
I have the video clip where Lee says, math is hard, you're not worth it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I agree completely. Milestone. What's this called?
Yeah, milestone advancement.
I prefer it.
The only benefit I think of to XP gains is so that like you don't potentially over level, but in our group we don't have to worry about that because our DM is actively trying to kill us.
Keeps it fun.
We could just go kill Augur a lot of times.
I don't know.
Just level up on Hogger exclusively?
It's from the World of Warcraft episode of South Park,
Yeah.
where their plan is to just kill the same hog over and over again to
Level
get
up.
super powerful. Yeah, it's so stupid.
You can't. There's no games that really have that grind anymore. They removed that mechanic.
Yeah,
from
Dark
most
Age of
games.
Camelot wasn't the last one.
Yeah, DOC was awesome.
Until
Yeah,
Vanilla
great
WoW
game.
comes out. That's happening.
Well,
it's back
but-
to the bump and grind.
Vanilla,
Right.
but even Vanilla WoW, it was all quest based.
No, you had to grind.
You played DAOC?
Yeah.
What realm?
Palamedes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what server we played, but I mostly played Albion.
I was Midgard.
Nice.
Midgard Shadow.
Like to hit level 16
Nice.
Vanilla WoW, you had to go kill Yetis from level 58 because every quest would not get you to level 16.
Really?
Their intention was you would hit 58 and then have to run dungeons to get geared up, and then
Right.
you would get XP from killing things that are level 58.
But they didn't have a
and
dungeon
60.
finder at the time. So,
Correct. Yeah. So most people, so that you could do it solo, would just head to winter. I don't remember what it's called. The snowy area,
Winter Soldier.
maybe, and just farm Yetis
Ah.
till the end. The guy was doing it on New Year's. He was doing a level 160 grind where he would hit 60 right as the ball dropped for 2019.
That's funny.
And I tuned in the middle of the workday, and he's level 58, about a third of the way through killing Yetis. Had to do it until midnight. It was like 3 p.m.
Wow.
He had like 9 hours of killing Yetis ahead of him.
I thought this year's was pretty cool because it was the first time I recall ever seeing the. If you start this movie at this point, you'll see exactly
Yeah.
this.
Oh
one.
yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
never seen that before.
You
Yeah.
do it with Lieutenant Dan.
I saw Bring in the New Year, Lieutenant Dan. I was
So
like,
great. Happy New Year, Lieutenant Dan. Like as the ball dropped.
She tasted a lot cigarette.
it's so great.
Alright. So we need lates and traps.
Traps are set.
Yeah, see, I need a stealth check
Stealth check. That's from Dave.
for the trap layer.
Do
layer
I
of
get any
traps.
benefit from the
You can inspire yourself.
No.
spider climbing?
No.
No. Yeah, but I will inspire myself.
How do you inspire yourself?
I have to kind of
Like
like
this.
sit down and
Look into a mirror.
No. Think about.
He
the-
takes out a picture of himself.
Think about the new
he
song
keeps,
I'm working
He
on.
keeps a locket with
Oh,
a
to keep
picture
my
of
mind
himself in
quiet.
it. Oh, it's the most
Crowd
modern
is
thing
like,
ever.
no
There's
one
a
else
train.
did.
Oh, it's
no
so
other
good.
trains right now.
My name is
Fast
Val.
on the streets, but long in bed is his tongue.
Billy's face.
Right?
Oh
That's
my.
good.
See,
I wish we could hear that.
What up, dog?
What up, dog?
24.
Would you roll? What up, dog?
24 on that
You're
stuff.
the man
meter.
now.
Are you hot facing?
You want the mountain now, dog?
No, that wasn't pure.
So as you're placing this up and you've crawled up into the ironwood tree with a fatter stalk on it, you notice that there are slash marks. Look like claws had done it while you're affixing your trap up there. What are the rest of you guys doing while he's setting this up?
Maintain security.
Yep. Shield up. I don't have.
So you
my
guys just standing there?
I mean, I'm looking around.
Disperse.
Ocular
Tactical
pat-down for
dispersion.
everybody.
Tactical dispersion.
Ocular pat down.
Yeah, let's move. I'm gonna move a few feet away.
If you're moving a few feet away, then I'm staying within 10 feet of you.
Alright, you guys probably want to disperse yourselves over there.
Is there is the cover here at the base of this tree?
Think of this as like a mixture of grasses and ferns. So if you were to lay prone, you would. It's good cover, good concealment.
Okay.
Not necessarily cover.
I'll stand on that then.
Bronson goes over to Hugh and has him put a little bit of Vaseline over his eyes, right? Check, make sure his fingernails are appropriate length, make sure he has his cup in, his mouthpiece, and Hugh waves him on in the cage.
Guy, come out fighting, boy. All right. So what's your intent here?
Smash goblins.
Well, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we lay these traps and then we keep going, and with the expectation that as they're following us, they trip the traps, right? And it slows them down.
Let's head this way, so they presumably would sneak up on us. Be like, lads, you think maybe now's a good time to sit down and have a snack? Feel like I could go for a cheese stick, maybe some pretzels. Maybe let our guard down for a minute, stretch our knees, you know. Just
Throw my shield in the river.
yeah. Just gonna go ahead, put down my weapons, and maybe read a book, or maybe I'll just put on this blindfold and pull my pants down. Hope nobody sneaks up on me or anything.
I think we should just keep going. I mean, we're covering our six a little bit. Let's make sure we're keeping good rear security, but we need to keep going.
Yeah, Knocker, why don't you fall to the back of the line with the captain and stay with Zendala and the cook?
Couldn't we just pick up our traps then?
No, Knocker.
But we just put these traps up. Well, we were trapping them.
Well, if they chase after us, wouldn't they set the trap off?
Not necessarily, just go around it.
I think we're trying to be.
I just don't want to waste time on these goblins getting decisively engaged with them while, because...
Well, but what's a fight? A fight takes 10 minutes. You know?
But not if
Yeah,
we
but
keep dicking around over here.
that's 10 minutes away from.
The fight takes less than 10 minutes, but how long is it going to be until they decide to
Boy,
fight?
lads, what if I just go stand out there in between the trap triggers and scream at the goblins coming to
Yeah.
a piece of good old
Sure,
Bronson?
yeah, let's see what happens.
Done.
I like it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You lads draw your bowstrings, ready up your darts, your spears, your,
Yeah,
your glaives, your
I'll
lances.
let them walk up
whatever
and
you
make a
got.
big stink out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know what you're doing, Mike.
I was thinking, do we want to make the rest of us look like we're moving on?
oh, he's gonna be super
I mean, if he's
loud.
just gonna go out there and scream at them, then I just say let's see what happens. So Bronson's moved to the front of the line.
Yeah, so he's gonna move up and call out to where we saw the skull skittering through the woods and go, "Good golly, Miss Gobbly, come get your gotten."
Okay.
Nothing. No sound comes from the.
You give me a perception.
Oh, I'll take some hot face.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a happy day.
Natural 1 plus 5. I gotta drive soon. This is terrible.
It's a great day for me.
can I see if I hear anything as well?
Yeah.
7.
Somebody's farted, and the two of you are kind of looking at each other because you notice Genji like looking around, and you're like, is he seeing like if somebody let one out? And then you see Bronson kind of looking around like, shouldn't something be happening? But you confuse that as also the smell, not knowing that there is a rotten carcass of a dinosaur that is very putrid, and you guys are getting a little bit of a downwind waft as some of it comes through. So you think one of the other one farted. No goblins though.
How long has it been?
How long are you guys gonna sit?
I'm gonna
Oh,
go.
I see your phone.
I'm gonna go up to where Valkor. Where did you see this board?
Point.
So he points down right along here.
Okay. So I'm gonna move. Hey Bronson, stay with me, and I'm gonna look for tracks.
Give me a survival check.
Of course. 24.
I don't think that dance is necessary.
That was boarding on Fortnite.
Disagree.
days, man.
Yeah.
Disagree, Billy. I thought it was totally nuts.
Loss on.
Like, how do I
I don't know how it worked. No, that's definitely not.
You're
it.
gonna hit
That's
Dave.
the opposite of how it works.
Is it?
Your arms go in the same direction, not opposite
Yeah,
directions. That's what they're doing.
Oh, are you doing a Fortnite dance?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Nope.
No.
Out.
Dude,
in,
your kids
out,
can do this a lot
in.
better.
Oh God, Luke does it great. But
I just coached Billy on how to floss.
what time was that? At 26.
It's a Christmas card right there. Look at it happen.
This is what somebody tunes in and sees this. They're turning right next.
It's funny. So you look around and you can see that there are no tracks of any kind in that area, and it's very like that wet because you guys just came out of the crossing.
Should be.
You think something would have shown that there was something there.
It was a ghost.
Hey Falcon. If you see the border, there's no tracks. Are you sure you saw something?
I'll walk over there and look.
Okay, walk on over.
What's the check?
Red Rover,
investigation
Red
check?
Rover, send Falcon on over.
Well, actually, no. This would be survival because you're trying to. Well, no, you're investigating the area for tracks. You were looking more for signs of.
I'm looking for an 8.
34.
Yeah, so you walk over and look over, and you start questioning to yourself: was this where you saw it? Yeah, you're fairly certain this is where you saw it, and there's no sign.
Well, I'm creeped out, boys. Let's pick up these traps and get going.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Let's keep going.
Let's go, guys.
Okay.
Let's scoop them up.
Skipping up the traps.
Let's get up the tracks. Let's
So-
go, guys.
Maybe 10 minutes has passed,
Okay.
and you guys collect traps and start on your way again.
Okay.
Moving.
Let's roll.
Get back to your order of march, please.
Hop, 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 hop. Pick up
Back
them
in the
traps.
safety zone.
Pick up them traps.
Zing, zing, zing.
It's okay to tell that that's not where you belong.
May I ask Hal Hugh and Zendala what they make of the boar skull we probably saw, and if they agree it's probably goblins, etc.
And Hugh says, "Well, son, when I was a little bit more able, we used to form militia hunt teams to go out and we'd purge back whenever the greenskin menace was getting a bit much. That's exactly what they'll wear. Is they wear the skulls of some of the different animals down and around here, and them skulls they paint them depending upon what their specific proficiency is. It kind of tells their battle story, if you will. That's what they'd be doing. They'd be patterning our movement. I don't know why they aren't leaving any tracks."
Well, I'm creeped out. Let's keep going.
Okay.
We're marching on.
So
We
give
gotta
me
catch
another check.
I will assist. If we're going standard pace,
18.
Okay. So as you
Bang,
guys start going forward, you're starting to get to more of a flatter tidal plane, where you're getting to less jungle, where there's like not this layer of organic matter that's like a giant mulch box or something like that. It's getting to where it's more light grasses, and you see in some of the areas where large footprints have stepped, and in some of the areas you see smaller things like what rodents and the like would have. So the area is teeming with life. You continue forward. I need everybody to perception check, please.
9.
22.
Passive 15 though.
17.
So as you're coming through,
Any
oh nice.
Oh wow, natty 20.
Okay.
So
Or you
Vlad's
said that.
because
So forlorn.
when I went to grab my 120 to roll, I knocked a 19 down, and I was like, "Oh, I should keep that." I was like, "I didn't roll it; that fell on my table." And then I rolled, and I rolled the 20.
hashtag blessed.
Yeah.
Hashtag neat.
This was my Dave cheating moment where I was like, I'll just didn't know him though. No one knew that I just knocked the 19 off and I didn't roll it. But I couldn't do it.
Thanks, Dave.
Right there.
Couldn't Dave.
Cup.
You need
I'll just use his.
a Taza.
You're keeping that though.
So
Yeah, we'll pass you cup.
as you guys are walking through the wood line, you're seeing those same slash marks that Volker had pointed out along the tree trunks, and they all seem to be about aged the same. And then as you continue forward following the tracks that you've seen, you start seeing fresh ones every single time.
Is that indicative of? I mean, is that a sign that I would recognize of jungle wildlife or Tyrannosaurus Rex or something?
Do a nature check.
20. Not that
So you know that there are some animals that claim territory, going through and sharpening claws and stuff like that to see how much damage they can do. And that's kind of a sign of don't cross into my territory.
Right.
As you guys are pushing in, these are all the same freshness based upon the natty 20. The same freshness of wound to the tree trunk as it's going forward.
Okay.
So what does that tell you then? Like,
Probably a big animal marking territory.
because they're happening simultaneously? Is that there's just something for us to take there? Is that where you get the size from?
Or we're following it.
Well, I'm fucking creeped out. Let's keep going.
So keep following the trail then of the.
Go find Genji's sister and beat up some goddamn Jade syndicates.
Go kill
Did we run into the group yet?
Which group are you talking about?
Jade
The ones we're trailing.
Oh, not yet.
We're not
You
hot
guys, you
on
guys
the
are still following,
Yep.
and you.
I haven't swung my flails in 48 hours. We gotta go.
Yeah, it's true. It's been 72 hours actually.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah, we noticed. Yeah.
You take level 5 exhaustion for being so pissed off.
Yeah.
It's like the rage mechanic for him.
So you go through, the better part of the afternoon, and you just every single tree within reason on this same azimuth starts getting slashed. You guys are moving at a steady or deliberate or expedient pace.
I would say standard pace.
Standard pace, okay. So it's starting to get to be about 4:15, 4:30. Glass starts having seizures of some sort.
My face is heating up.
I'll massage her shoulders to calm her down. I did do it.
Uncomfortably like crotch.
But you felt good.
I do felt bad.
Yeah, he's got good hands.
He does. As he starts to touch Gladys's shoulder, she's like, "Why do you apply my insect repellent salve? I don't need any more today."
Oh.
Good. Thank you though for looking out for my well-being always. You're such a compassionate soul, Valkyr.
It's my name.
God damn it.
All right, so you head through, and it's like I said, about 4:30, coming on to it's starting to get a little bit darker, and as you've been progressing your way through, all of a sudden the swipes stop on the trees.
Okay.
Well, either that means we reach the edge of the territory, or something else that we're about to get surprised by. Cool.
What do you do?
We gotta keep pace. We gotta keep catching these guys,
Yeah,
right?
we gotta
Yep,
push as
keep
far as we
going.
can.
Keep going.
Okay. So
Is there any other? I'll do a quick survival check around to see if there's, now that the slashes have stopped, if there's anything else that would indicate like the direction this thing might go in.
okay.
And also,
yeah.
I'm gonna look at the slashes in conjunction with this to try to assess the overall the size of the.
A varsity level
Is
way to get
is that
advantage.
an assistance?
Yeah, that was really good.
The survival check, right? 18.
Yeah, so it's the track, whatever was making the slashes, was walking on 4 legs.
Okay.
You don't see 4-legged tracks anymore.
Okay. Maybe we've exceeded its territory. We're not around where it's marking its territory anymore.
So we got to a point where the slashes on the tree, the slashes are still happening, but there's no more.
No.
tracks.
No, the
No,
slashes
so
have
the
stopped.
slashes have stopped.
Okay.
And
There's also no more
there's no
four-legged.
more 4-legged tracks.
Any direction.
In your direction of travel.
Do we see that then?
You don't see the same ones that had been consistent because you guys have all been rolling above 15.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that consistency of the same track, the way the track is hit as it's going forward. You don't see that deviate off in a direction at all.
Whatever check I need to do to was it a fucking flyer? Did it take off into the content sky?
It's a griffin.
Oh.
No, it's a fucking. It could be.
Be a dragon?
Cinder.
Oh.
What kind of prints were they? What kind of 4-legged prints were they?
So they looked more mammalian rather than reptilian.
Okay.
4-legged prints and slashes, and it has to be something that flew if we don't see the tracks.
My money's on it's 3 midgets in a trench coat. It's gotta be. I've seen it a million times.
Despicable you.
And
It's
they're,
all minions.
so they're trying to get into the movie theater
That's right.
to watch the picture show.
Classic.
A legendary Vincent adult man.
Yeah, it could be it could be a griffin.
Adult
Well,
man.
griffins have lion-like front feet, so
Could be. I know that's a classic Little Rascals thing they would do, right?
God, I don't know. So we keep going. Obviously,
Right.
It said, "Oh, it's a movie file."
really, yeah, it is. It's a animated movie. Whatever. This is wrecking my immersion.
Well, I thought it was web.
It was a
It
was a real quick,
slanted sideways.
audible.
wing.
That was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
So good.
We had been talking about it for a bit, and he was like, "Yeah, we might as well." I like it. So.
I want the ocean one. So cool.
There's a ton down.
Well, if somebody could figure out how to, draw this stuff.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So we'll just keep pressing as late as we can safely go on.
Okay.
So you guys continue in a little bit after 5:15 or so. You start to go through a little bit of restricted terrain. And the way that it's restricted is vine and kind of fern ground cover. So you can see it shredded, like in your direction of travel. So you think
It's going after them.
it's becoming a little bit more difficult to progress forward through this. And it seems off in any direction that there's a lot of vine growth coming down and ferns and the like. So it's difficult going, but very easy to track where tracks are heading.
Because they're using machetes and chopping through the jungle. Okay. But that also means that there's a high potential they're setting traps for us there too, if they think we're still following, which we don't know.
Why the dread just normal?
Just describing what's going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Just
didn't
have to be
agree or
ready.
disagree with that statement? The last one.
I'm just a guy.
I'm all that I said is they don't. I don't know if they know if
We know that they know.
exactly.
Well, I know.
Basically,
Unknown knowns that they do know.
right. The known unknowns and the
The
unknown
known unknowns.
and the unknown
All right,
unknowns.
all right. Let's follow these guys.
Well, so how much sunlight do we safely? Because I don't want to cause injuries because we're stumbling over.
So you will it will get dark enough to be like pitch black night in about 2 hours.
Okay, so we can keep going. I think. Is everybody cool with that?
Yeah,
Let's try and catch them as they camp down if we think we're close to them.
Sure. Okay.
So are you going deliberate? Are you going regular speed? Or are you being expedient to catch?
I think we just have to be deliberate.
Yeah, because if I'm them, and I'm even somewhat paranoid that we're still being followed,
Yeah.
and I know I'm leaving a extremely obvious trail, I'm probably gonna start tracking it. So I think we should be deliberate, but we'll see what it ends up like at the end of the day, how close we think we are.
You're the tactician. I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
Let's keep going and try and make assessments for how
We
far
can
they
move
are.
slower, but if we move longer, for longer during the day than they move, then we're still catching up to them, right?
I often hear slower longer
No, you don't.
leads to more success.
No, you hear the first part, not the second part. Anyway. I'm kidding. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's a requirement.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
No, I do. Absolutely.
But, you know, like we don't have to travel as fast, but if we travel longer and more consistently, then we can still catch up.
You make the call.
So we'll go to the deliberate speed as we move into the
Okay.
the tunnel.
So you
that they
get
created.
advantage on your survival check.
I was gonna have another 25.
Okay. So as you guys are following, probably about another hour goes by. You haven't seen any more slashes on the trees. That same set of prints, the four-leggeds, aren't back. But it does open up into a little bit of a clearing. And as you guys kind of spit out, you can see that there's somewhat of an improved path that lays out in front of you. You've gone through some type of a thicker vine barrier and basically tunneled through. Your deliberate pace, you haven't overtaken anybody, but I asked for an advantaged, since you guys are being deliberate, perception check from everyone.
Advantage.
Nice.
24.
23.
23.
9.
18.
9.
We're all like eyes to the jungle, like figuring out what's going on.
He's contemplating his
Valkyrie's
next
playing
number
his-
one
Listen
hit.
to
over
this.
here.
It's weird.
Can I get you guys lined up
Yeah.
here,
Right.
facing? This is your direction of travel.
Moving
Let's
south.
say that again, Tim.
Wow.
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 Stop it.
We're
Yeah,
going
flip
south.
around. You
Going
get
south.
Oh, other way. Got it. Okay.
and closer to the
Stop.
end of the map here.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna get the 100 wows of Owen Wilson and just play that. Move back.
Oh, wow. Put some more trees out here. Like on the.
Oh.
There we go.
Some terrain.
Who's chatting? That is Crazy Horse 1212. Love this D&D team. Great RP in action. Bringing some stuff to my next D&D session.
Perfect.
Alright,
Inspiration. I like it.
get this
Ooh.
down there as well.
Is that over here?
Yeah.
We're just using it as like space filler.
No,
No,
we're not.
it's
It's
actually-
purposeful.
What about this one?
There's buildings.
Yeah, that goes there.
Whoa. Is there a name?
Are these as depicted, or are they to indicate like more stone, like Mayan?
Stonework,
Okay.
Mayan type
Got it.
ruins, but multi-leveled.
Okay. Multi-tiered, multifaceted.
Yes.
Okay. Multi-layered. Dare I say?
Yeah, you find
Oh. Really? Are we fine?
So casual fondling.
It's the name of our game.
Casual Ramshack Production. Welcome to Casual Fondling.
That should be the name of our adventuring party.
You know that line from
The company of casual
Fight Club.
fondling of yellow repeat.
where he's like, now the uncovered question, do I give him the ass or the crotch as I pass by? I don't think Lee's ever had to ask that question.
All right.
You can.
So as you look out, you see in brightly colored silks
Oh.
that are flowing in the wind.
Oh.
A Choltean woman.
Oh.
Olivia Newton-John,
She's getting physical.
Sigourney Weaver from Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Whoa. Now we're talking.
There is no Dana.
In the red.
There is only
The flowing red silk. Zoo. There's no
Dane.
There's no Dana.
There's only Zoo.
There's only Zoo. Zoo.
Zooey. So cool.
And then you had, the follow-up, Vigo the Carpathian.
Good memory. Carpathian.
Carpathian or Carpathian?
Carpathian.
Carpathian.
Is it?
Yeah.
Vigo.
Right, I just upgraded.
I am Vigo.
Get it all. The night scene, the fire was rendered. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you need to make it darker, please.
Give it to us.
Can you?
Wait like 20 minutes. I gotta dig through the files.
Oh, that's fine. And that will coincide.
Oh, that'll go. Okay.
strange.
Let me see if we can make the camera better.
Day, night, UHD.
What's HD?
Ultra.
Oh, Ultra HD?
Yeah, I don't even want to know how big the download is.
How's that looking? Take a look over here.
No, I can't see over there.
It's good. Yeah,
So that's Worlds 2?
yeah, it's a good angle.
Looks great. You can see a little bit off to the side, the laptop and whatnot. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we lose. Oh, I have this actually. There we go. So we have people in brightly colored silks.
Is that Carmen San Diego?
Where?
Doing that. You know that? You know that? It's a cartoon coming to Netflix.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, we gotta paint those, huh? They look good anyway, though.
No, they look great like this.
Right. My coins. You wanted a night version?
Yeah.
We have, this is Ralph Rex the internet right now. We've left our game world. Now we're, doing that thing in the Emoji movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Was it though?
Yeah, so
Emoji.
The only thing I like with the Emoji movie is you watch it at the Southwest Discount Center theaters, so it's like $2.50 for a ticket, but they have $1 hot dogs.
oh,
Oh, that's a lean day.
That is a long day.
Is that a saying?
When it comes to $1 hot dogs, it is. Yeah.
I used to like dollar hot dog night at Albuquerque Isotopes. That was great.
Was that a hockey team?
Baseball.
Oh, okay.
We'd go buy like 20.
you know they named themselves after the Springfield baseball.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah, I have an Isotopes hat. It's awesome.
Remember that time we stopped to fight at a U.S. and Mexico soccer game with pocket hot dogs?
No, remember the time we leveraged a pocket hot dog as
Oh,
a
who was
reason
that?
why the person wasn't allowed to fight us?
Yeah, you
That's
can't
what
fight
really
us.
happened.
We gave you pocket dogs.
We had it was a
What
we had
are
to
we seeing
cite
here?
the history of pocket hot dogs.
That's right.
to
So,
help defuse it.
Political product.
Yeah.
You guys are walking forward, and you're starting to see more and more of like the stonework
This is
of
great.
what may be like an older city. Very old, very ruined in orientation. So you guys have just come around a pretty big bend in the road.
I was making it straight and what, crusty?
It's not supposed to be straight. It's a ruined city. The only thing straight in here is Mike. Okay.
David, that's question.
Fair.
Disagree.
But you guys
There is no straight thing.
49.
are starting to come up up a road, and it's just turned. And as you are coming up and looking over, this is what you see laid out before you. There are very tall trees. Some smaller, ones that are like the greens here. These are probably 15 to 20 feet tall. The really thick trunks that are going up, those are about 120 feet tall. Real big ones. And the buildings that you see there are all stonework. A lot of decay, and you can tell that predators and the like, may have denned in some of these because there's collections of bones. As you're
1994 or
looking through a few.
2018?
2018.
Oh.
Fair.
What about the people up there? What do we see going on?
Give me a perception check.
Still
on
have
that.
this.
Is it a nuke? The nuke?
None of your business, DM. Get out of here.
20?
Forget about this item I've had for the last 6 episodes.
So as you look forward, you can see that they're native Chultans that are walking, and then you see that they have halflings, maybe gnomes. It's hard to tell at this distance,
Okay.
but they look to be loaded up as beasts of burden, as well as a dark-haired woman who is wearing shreds of what used to be a crimson red silk bodice. She does not look like she's walking too well. Her arms are bound around a walking stock, and as she's going, you see the Choltons. As you're walking, they're disregarding her as kind of a lesser being, and it looks as if there is some type of slave labor that's going on within the party, as the majority of them are, if they're unarmed, they're carrying things like pack mules. And the party is progressing forward, and folks are looking in different directions.
Okay. Can you point out which ones are the slaves and which ones are the native non-slaves?
Front two. So the two farthest that way.
Yep.
The next two.
Okay.
And then the rest are not carrying any type of gear.
So the front four are
Yes.
the slaves, and then
Yeah.
there's two back here.
No, there's three back here. You have the
I see.
brightly adorned in silk.
Yeah.
You see a Cholton kind of dressed in how the gladiators do in Port Naranzaru.
Okay.
And then you see somebody in black garb. Looks to be some type of a functional gi.
Okay.
And that's about all you can see at this distance.
Okay. I'm quickly gonna say to Burano-san, Burano-san, this could be the party with my sister, but I do not see the personnel that the marshal told us. He said 5 military personnel. I only see 1, maybe 2.
Probably hiding around here somewhere.
Hey.
We take them by surprise, then.
Well, at this point, I don't really know that we need to attack them right away. They probably know we're here.
You want me to negotiate with him? And he picks up both of his ball and chains.
I'm more inclined to follow them at a distance until they stop for the air.
All right, but you tell me when I can swing.
If we go barreling in there right now, we're gonna get ambushed.
I really like barreling in here.
Yeah, me too. Hi, me as well. But I do not think that would be very wise.
You know, you're a very civilized barbarian, you are. Can't say you don't really match the classes on
You do not call me Gaijin!
We've got the number of people who think Berlin. We got
Yeah,
numbers.
I cannot account for all the personnel I know are in this group.
Understood.
I do not see them all.
So
We are missing 3, maybe 4.
Should we yell out then and be like, "Hi, we're friendly"?
I don't know. I'm inclined to just yell out at them, "Hey, stop!" But I don't like what I can't see.
Sure. Should maybe you and Bronson take cover behind the hill over here on the left?
No,
And I can distract them.
I'll,
I can get my
if
loot
anything,
out.
I'm going to be the one out there.
I can
yelling
walk
at
down the
Okay,
road
good.
and play a song. Cause
them. Yeah,
I'm
why don't you guys duck
alive.
around the hill over here, and then I'll stand up. We'll kind of turn about as fair play on these guys.
Yeah. Do you keep moving? Did you zooms or something?
No.
So, yeah.
Still on full screen.
So you guys duck around over behind this hill,
Yeah,
and then
we'll
I'll
do
go.
All right.
So we're stealthily.
Ah!
Oh,
Well, not there. Not there.
stop it.
All right.
You
Only
wanna go
because
like
I delayed.
You don't have to move to there to see. But you want to break. It's about breaking line of sight. Right?
Yeah. So I need stealth checks from everybody that's gonna
From
run up.
everybody.
Everybody's gonna be really up here.
I'm going to be.
I'm gonna go,
Still
I want to
chicks.
go this way.
I'm intentionally not
No.
stealthy.
Yeah, I'm rolling stealth check. At
Holy
advantage.
hell, that was great.
Why are you rolling an advantage?
I'm not. I just rolled 1. That's 16.
I'm saying where I'm at. Okay.
8.
That is an 18 at disadvantage.
Booyakasha.
Why disadvantage?
Because I'm wearing armor.
So you
I'm
guys,
always advantage on
you
stealth.
think relatively stealthily, have made it to your observation positions wherever those are at.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and move there.
He was short. So am I.
Ninja dust.
What do I see from up the third story? I ran over
So
the third
everybody
story,
give
building
me a
stealthily.
perception check
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
use it right here.
have an idea of where you're looking at, and we will go person by person.
Bronson, you standing back there?
No, I'll come up.
Are you moving with him?
Am I percepting as well?
If you choose
Are you
to.
just standing there, Yotin?
Yep.
Cool.
What are you looking towards?
I guess to see if they notice anything as these guys move out. So my sight line would be kind of between.
So you're keeping eyes on the element. So as folks are kind of doing the immediate, like you shrink 6 inches because you're starting to go sneak. They
Still 8, so you're only 7.5 feet tall.
yeah, you look down there and it looks like they have selected this area to halt. You see them pass back because you can see further than that, and we'll say that there's.
Oh, there's another element off the map. Oh, okay.
We'll say that this, if you want to pass that down, is on the other side.
What? Like over here?
Yeah.
Why don't you finish that drink over there, Sally? What was that?
Why don't you eat my waffles and fight me?
Yeah.
You got some German potatoes with those waffles? I'm all over it.
It'll be all
I hope
you.
this is all innuendo.
No, this is the shirt. This is the new
It's
shirt.
about to be in your
Blue
endo.
waffles with German potatoes.
Boom.
Oh, so disgusting.
I like when Billy whispers the timestamp to himself. That's
a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay, so they look like they're
Call
stopped for
us
the
out.
evening.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm just going to get up there and yell at him to stand and deliver. So I don't know if you want to. I don't know if there's anything anybody wants to do before I start hollering, but.
They used to call me Batman.
But you barely adopted me.
I was actually trying to do Morgan Freeman from standing.
All right, so I'm gonna take a jaunt right over here
Where's the principal?
behind this tree.
Okay.
And I'm going
Like
to.
as you're calling out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my hand on you and be like, "Give me 5 seconds before you call out," and I'm gonna jog over.
Clang,
the
clang,
tree.
clang, clang, clang. All
So
right,
before that movement takes place,
Yeah.
what was your perception check roll?
From right here.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking down over this way.
Okay. So did you just like walk up the side with your spider boots, or did you go inside?
I'm Spider-Man.
Okay, Spider-Man.
Everybody gets one.
Now, I did come inside and walk along this edge, so if there's anything directly below me, I would have seen it.
Okay.
Below you.
Now I'm rolling the perception
like
check,
Dr.
which
Bologna.
was 17.
So where are you? What are you looking at specifically?
Whatever. I know this tree's in the way of some of my vision, but
Yeah.
like I'm on the edge of this thing, so I should be able to see like from here to here these trees. So anything down around in here,
Yeah.
but this
So
tree's kind of blocking me.
you're not. You don't uncover anything new. But the form that is up at the head, you do see some shining and a backpack with a flag coming off of it.
Oh, the
flag?
banner.
It's hard to see from
Oh,
where
the
you're at.
ding dang darn dumb old banner we've been following for 4 days.
They can't see me.
It's past the early evening nautical twilight.
Yeah. I'm gonna message.
So it's hard for you to be able to really pick out a color at that distance.
Okay. Line of sight for me.
Did you? They can't see you though. So are you doing like the no see me?
I had 23 perception.
Oh no! I'm gonna message
And what were you?
him.
What were you looking towards?
The top of the hill in front of me, so from 12 to 9 o'clock.
Okay, so as you're looking out, you can see that the one up front that's in the tattered red silks has a collar around her neck, and it's tethered to the individual that is up in front, the one that signaled the stop.
Fucking slave traders. We're gonna fucking smash these. That's happening. And I'm just gonna yell over to, well, not yell, but Genji's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet away. Genji! The slave traders! And then I'm ready in action.
And what is that?
Kill everyone if they move.
Yep. Yeah, the moment I see someone move, I'm gonna Thanos snap.
I just hope
I
I'm in
too
the-
put in God's No, that works. Okay.
No,
he's
you can yell.
45.
Any other actions anybody wants to do before I start
Yes.
the show off?
I'm messaging him,
Okay.
and I'm just telling him I see a banner up there, but I can't see what color it is. Waving.
Okay. And do I have the ability to send you a message back,
do.
or is that one?
Yeah, you get a reply.
I just say acknowledged. Acknowledge you do, would you?
Yeah, I'll do message again and say what?
That's a Texas size 7-4.
Is that those
All right.
little ones, folks?
Alright, so I'm just going to walk up and draw my sword, plant it in the ground in front of me, and yell out at the top of my lungs, "My name is Genji of Kuran Yoshimitsu of Kozakura, and you will stand and face justice!" And then see what happens.
Okay.
This is awesome.
That was badass, and I wish the camera had been just a little bit more to the left.
Oh, man.
I still captured all. What was that? 1-1.
Bronson farts.
That's disgusting. So, at the end of the road, you hear ho 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 ho,
Oh!
and
Anime villain?
Yes!
I've been doing a lot of research. And he turns around and he says, another Yoshimitsu coming to sate the thirst on my blade.
Do I
And-
recognize him?
Walking forward, Hanzo
Oh, no.
Tatsuyomi
Level 15.
walks forward, jerking this scantily clad woman, and he pulls forward, and she drops down to her knees here, and these untethers run off to the side.
Okay. Oh, wow. Is he in samurai gear or ninja gear?
He is in samurai gear.
Wow, Hanzo's wearing samurai gear, huh?
Moshineru.
It's like Arnold anime.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay.
That's just ridiculous.
So is she prone?
Yeah, she's on her knees.
Okay. I'm going to reach down and grab one of my antitoxins, pop the lid, and drink it real quick.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say, I will call him out. Say, Hanzo, if you have shred of honor and your pathetic, filthy dog body, you will release your captives and you will face me here and now.
And
The Japanese are cringy.
Yeah.
he looks up and says, Genji, you will not win today. I have ultimate power over you. Your family does not exist. It is not in any of the scroll work. And goes through berating on how they've purged back in Kazakura every mention of your clan. Your temples have been brought low. I have destroyed and salted your fields. And just starts going through how they've literally wiped their ass with your ancestral scrolls. They're pissed all over, all your shrines and stuff like that, in all the homes have been defiled, burned out, and at the end he said, there was only one way to make sure that your entire family was to perish from the face of this planet, to breed you out. And as he lifts your sister up, you can see a bump on the belly, and he smacks her, and she falls prone off to the side.
No.
Bronson looks over. He's like peeking around the tree and looking at all this. And he,
What's Genji doing?
he mouths to him, "Is this bad?"
So
And with that, Genji.
I will very calmly pull my sword out of the ground and assume a ready stance as I begin slowly walking forward. And I will say, Hanzo, very well. You have wiped my clan from the histories of Kozakura. But as we know from studying the storied histories of the heroes of our past, each stroke of my blade will rebuild my honor and recreate the name of Yoshimitsu, just as the stones slowly build new shrines and temples to our heroes. Come and face the end of your name.
all right. I need some heavy metal music.
I would end up right
sorry,
back
I'm
here by that
wrecked.
point.
I just want to make sure that is Billy gets erect at 107.
So you start walking
That's the name of the
forward.
clip. Billy's
He
perfect.
takes a Shinto blade, and the so like whenever you see pull chains, like in a belfry or something like that, you've got a decent sized ring that you can put a few fingers through and pull down. He sets that ringlet down, and he puts his Shinto blade and drives it down a solid, probably 9 inches into the ground.
Okay.
He is much bigger, like not Turtles to Super Shredder.
Sure.
After he takes the mutagens,
Okay.
but he is bigger than what you think your physiology from Kazakura would be able to support. He stands up, and you guys see.
Is he bigger than what I remember from when we were
Yeah.
growing up? Okay.
You see him stand up, and the rest of you, as you're looking at this, see the folks in line there. They part. The yellow dress, if we could move her up to this fence line, off to the side a little bit more, right there. These other two, move them off to the side, right there. And then he starts walking forward, and it is as high noon as you can get with it starting to become night. And at this time, Valkyr, you feel yourself start to become weightless. Roll initiative.
Ooh.
What? I don't understand.
Good flight cast on you by Zendara.
Oh, Natty 20!
Oh yeah!
22.
Get him the drinking
Action.
sauce. Get him the drinking sauce.
The drinking sauce. We need another total activation can. By the way.
We need the total activation can.
Did you roll another
Whoa,
nat
yeah.
20?
I rolled a 17.
Oh, okay.
I moved the paper after I rolled a 17 and flipped to 20, but it already
It
landed.
did,
So
so.
that's it. The cloth. Is that?
What? Oh, yeah. This will work.
You got it.
Let's let me get my sheet.
Is it raining? Is it clear out? What's happening?
No, so
Weather-wise.
you're getting that storm cell that you guys had seen as you were moving forward, and you were getting the thunder off of it. It's continued. Now we start to get a pitter patter.
Let's get
As soon as he had said, your day of reckoning is here, then it's almost as if it goes to this obscure angle, like somebody had dropped a camera and it's looking up at Genji, and you hear ting, 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 and rain starts to come.
You've
and
been
as
watching
he
animated.
yes, and as he draws his blade and brings it out, the water starts to collect, and he cuts through the droplets as he brings it up
Can you do the rain?
into the ready position.
Sure.
Dude, I look kind of yoked. I like this camera. You gotta get big. You hear me, Mean Gene Okerlund? Rest in peace.
Mean Gene, man.
Yeah, we lost Mean Gene.
That's the end of an era right there.
It is. So he ends up. The rain starts coming down, and it starts to get uncomfortably dark in the area, and a huge stab of lightning shoots across the sky, and you all get to instantly see the face of Hanzo and the face of Genji go, ooh, and then Hanzo goes, oh. And then we start getting into initiative. So I need, this is not a real pen.
Did you just flash lightning on here?
No, but that would make
Oh.
Production values to the roof.
Product feedback for the map guys.
Zoom out a little.
That looks good. Make them bigger.
Is that night? Oh, is it
Little
the
bit more.
nighttime map?
That's
Oh, wow.
it right there.
That's
So
it.
how's that filming?
It looks real dark.
It's behind, but then we'll see.
It doesn't look awful. It just looks like water.
Yeah. I mean, I go back to the other one really easy.
Yeah, let's go back to the other one.
It's all. I didn't realize it was that blue.
It's
Very blue.
It's pretty blue.
God, it looks so much like lightning.
It's like Dama D.
When he does it does look like
Yeah.
lightning. I'm like,
Oh, man, that would be so awesome.
okay.
That looks way better on film though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you were a 20 to 30,
Yep.
26. 23.
by natural 20s, or you're the only natural on 20?
Oh no, oh wait, minus 26.
So 26, 22.
I'm waiting.
21.
We lasted 15.
Okay.
But he just stuck his hand over here. My business.
I still one dice roll when he wants to cut me.
Mister showing up there. Hey, I'm missing a red dot.
15 to 20.
13.
You have 15, right?
They are the same.
They're pretty close. Yours is more orangey.
And so as the downpour starts to intensify, you see almost a disturbance in the way that the drops hit, to where it seems like there is a jade dragon form, full size, where the water seems to be splitting and almost is in this green colored shade that is hovering over Hanzo, and a crimson one that is over Genji, as the glow in his armor focuses now in the top of his headpiece into this red garnet. That's the this garnet, and the crimson flame that is burning inside of it seems to be what is powering up above him, the ancestral guardian of his clan. And they start to take steps towards each other. So you are all of a sudden weightless, and you hear a message being cast from Zendala, and she yells, "Up."
To me? Just to me?
Yes. And she is going to hold her action.
Interesting. Travel straight up. Do what the lady says.
Is that effect on them?
What?
Is that effect?
That happened after I felt like I'm floating.
Yeah, so message came in here. Her action like while everybody was doing movement, was to cast that. And so you have the fly status.
Okay.
You have dragoon boots.
You're like Jeff Goldblum. You start throwing up on your food in your hand. From the fly. Yeah. His fly status.
Yeah, that's bad.
Keep up with me.
No, I'm with you.
I'm not moving that fast.
Hey,
I'm barely crawling here.
I'm allowed to be grossed out at whatever I want to be grossed out about. I'm grossed out. Alright? Not slow, grossed out.
Hey, why don't you take it to the outhouse?
How do you feel about Swisher Sweets?
Go fight. Eat my waffles and fight me.
By the way, I ordered 12 more initiative trackers.
Thank you.
Whoa, okay.
All right, so
Oh, from those guys? Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna invoice us next time.
we will do top of round one. You've seen this take place in front of you. Jotun, who has been completely still this entire time, almost looking like he's a ruined sculpture out there, made out of a specialized marble. Sits there surveying the field in front of you. What actions would you like to take?
I'm gonna move up into range here. 30, so we get to the base. I'd like to. Can I see this
Yes.
fellow? I'd like to hit him with magic missile level 2.
Oh yeah!
Roll that bar at D4.
Yeah, go for it. Take all of these ones.
I'll conjure my 4 darts and cast them in his direction. 5, 6, 10 plus 3 is 13.
13 damage.
4 plus 1, right?
Yep.
So that's 8. 8, 9 plus 4.
And so, as you guys have been focused on this surreal combat there in front of you that's about to take place, you know, the silence is broken as the opening volley of attack is the form of flatulence.
I'm sure he's fine.
It's just a level 2 magic missile.
So there's a missile, huh? Not a poisonous cloud. That this prismatic set of missiles go tilt-a-whirling and slam into the woman, the Jade Syndicate foot soldier, and she screams out as she is hit repeatedly.
No, we're great.
Oh,
It seems they bleed just the same.
Any other bonus action?
No.
Okay. Bronson.
So, having heard all of that back and forth and seeing like the showdown, Bronson's gonna come around and flank and help. So he's gonna, I don't think he even necessarily knows that there's a person here, but he's still gonna make a run that way.
Okay.
Will you move me? I can't see.
Okay,
I've got
yeah.
30 feet movement.
Plus
Trying to get to
5. This will be 10.
Yeah.
Where are you going now?
15, 20, 25. So what do I see?
This is
So
25.
as soon as you round the corner there,
Yeah.
you see a Cholton woman,
Bless you.
dark complected, long braided hair that is coming down. She's wearing silks, has a long staff with a metallic kind of top on it. If you were to look and hold profile, it almost looks like the Batman shield.
Okay.
In a way, just how it kind of
Yeah.
goes out. The silks that she's wearing are the multiple colors of a lot of the people you saw in Port Naranzaru.
Okay.
And you recognize her as one of the guides that you had seen on some of the marks. Like whenever you were by the port and they had the list, you recognize her likeness from those, and it's Iku, one of the port guides.
Okay. So Bronson will come up short and go, good day, madam. It seems to me you might be associated with the slave laborers over there. As I understand, you might just be doing your day job. I'm afraid you and your friends are going to have to answer for the consequences of your actions, and I'm sorry to be rude, but you got to get out of my way. And he's going to smash her fucking face in. Non-fatally if he can help it.
Okay.
Flail the face
Yeah.
as gently as you can.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill you. But
Here.
This is your fault.
This hurts me more than you.
yeah.
So go
Hate
ahead
to be
and
ungentlemanly like and all, but I'm afraid that
Make better decisions next time.
And you just yell all that in 6 seconds.
the gold one is going to be the shatter.
I think as long as you're crying while you do it, it makes it okay.
That is not great. So,
you do have rerolls. I need you to roll a d4 real quick.
so this is a 16. 16 and 11 to hit.
Okay. Both those miss.
Wow!
And you see
That's terrifying.
as you take a swing at her, a deftness of movement as she just kind of sidesteps both of them and is looking like, why are you coming at me?
So she's a monk,
Maybe don't kill her.
and she's gonna hit you 6 times. Keep point, keep point, keep point, keep point, keep point.
And then your head's gonna explode.
Yeah, so...
Let me.
I'll finish his movement.
I need you to get the tokens for you right here.
Okay.
At the moment.
You guys move everything around where we need it?
Yeah, will do.
You can go back there and reduce everybody's AC by 4 points.
This is 16. This, yeah, that's not optimal.
Rolled an 8 with +8 to hit. So I rolled low, but
Is it
still.
like a shield for the monk? Is your AC?
They have dex, high dex. They can go into a patient defense stance.
Just be
which-
dodging at all times, pretty much.
Yeah, it gives them an additional. I think it gives them an additional +2 AC or something. It's patient defense.
16 miss is kind of ridiculous.
Well, I mean, we all have AC 16, right? So that means that they have at
17,
least
yes.
17.
Or 16, yeah. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, we were 19 until we came into the jungle and had to ditch our heavy armor. Because Leaf threatened us with sweating us to death.
There's a gross amount of realism involved. Coronado.
Interesting.
Jade tokens.
So where do we? What's the company we got these? What's this? The new living dungeons? That's what it's called.
Yes, I want to say yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the terrain pieces are a mixture of Dave Graffam models, homebrew, and then the others. I can unmute this. 'Cause I think I don't like how the mute signal keeps popping.
Yeah, better off just unmuting him and turning it all the way down.
Unless you can make that neat thing like give off light like a lightning flash. It has sounds.
I don't know.
It did.
I
Those
heard a
were-
bird in there.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's got-
We've got to focus on the weather.
I'm sorry. It's got environmental sounds and birds and shit.
Birds and shit, or birds and bird shit?
It has bird shit.
That's
So
the
is
thing.
that in the movie itself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the video file.
Pretty cool.
Point.
All right. So, Bronson takes 2 swings and is misses on that. Volker is raiding my pantry late as usual.
Hey, are there any of those donuts left?
No, we got eaten up by Volker as well.
Jesus.
Cheese and biscuits. Oh, we gotta see what he's gonna do. Would you mind yelling at him to get in? Right, there you go. Your turn. What are you doing?
What?
Plugging in the fan, man.
The farts at bed. Alright. I'm flying. I'm basically like just sit on top of that tree. I can use a tree for now.
Yeah, use the tree.
Okay, so I'm gonna go right there.
Yeah.
And then
Uh-oh, what happened here?
hello friend, my name is Valka, and I'm gonna make sure my friend can smack you in the face. Hi! And then I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Light her up!
She's gotta make a Dex 16 saving throw. Yeah. So we'll see.
No, you might have it.
Hot
Face!
No!
Hot face!
Get the card out too. Get the card out.
Well, it's not an actual action. She's.
Get the card out!
She failed a save throw.
I'm just kidding.
That's exactly what happened. It's not something she
I
proactively.
see you.
She's-
She tried to avoid it real hard and fell over. Hi.
No,
He's
this-
right there.
That's
For
what
whatever reason, this computer won't browse to Twitch.tv right now.
Weird.
Right now.
I can get to Google. I can get to YouTube.
Do we know if Twitch is still up?
Yeah, I'm watching it over here. I've been doing it for. I lost Twitch for some reason.
It's coming up on my computer.
Oh, I know. It's fine.
Interesting.
Danny had asked me what happened here, and let's do this to help.
All right, let's continue
Yeah, let's
forward. please.
continue.
So fairy fire, you see a
Ooh, marker.
purpley glow of powder explode in the air, and it turns into like this silverly gold and purple confetti that comes fainting or like glitter that comes raining down and collects around here, and you see this throbbing blue glow as she's been completely powdered from head to toe, and you feel like it would be really easy to hit her.
Oh yeah.
Any bonus
Yeah, I'm gonna
actions?
do an incidental.
Okay.
Bonus
off
action.
Camera. You're off camera. I can't hear you.
Bonus action. I'm gonna just give Genji a bardic inspiration. Oh, he's saying no.
You cast it on him. It's up to him if he wants to use it.
Okay, then my incidental is me up dancing on top of the tree.
If you can, just go ahead and cast it. It's fine. I wouldn't be able to tell you no.
What's that?
So you hear the closest attempt to one of your not tribal, but like your clan, like an air hoo. It's like. And
Are you playing Epona's song?
Yes.
That's amazing.
And the air who sound that he's able to make out of his lute heartens you to where you
Yes,
say,
see?
like you know that your friends are there and they have your back through this and they understand what you're about to do.
He starts playing The Boys Are Back in Town.
The boys are back in town.
I drink a long mom milk.
Alright.
Alright, so now we go to Glaz.
Yep. And you guys are in a real predicament here.
Split the party.
Yep.
Split the party.
Split the party.
Okay. Should choose the 25. Okay. I am going to cast with my bonus action. I'm going to hold out my outstretched hand and make it into the form of a fist and say, "Oh, man, spirit," and cast spiritual weapon and have it manifest right next to Bronson.
All right.
And so the ground shoots up and cracks open and sprays out in all directions, almost like, you know, a cheap movie mortar goes off and kicks all kinds of stuff up in the air. And you see this apparition holding a hammer similar to what Glaz has, but much more ornate and ghostly.
Mostly ghostly.
It stands up in front of Iku and attacks with advantage.
Oh.
24.
24 hits.
7 points of damage.
Dang.
And so you see this magical energy come down and hit, and she throws up her non-staff wielding arm to swat it back, and you see that it hits and knocks her back, and she looks surprised and stares forward.
And then with my action, incidental before my action, Genji, I want to give you Domarn's blessing. Will that affect your honor if I do so?
Wait! I do not need your blessing.
Alright. And then for my action, then I will dash.
Okay.
Dash away. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll go behind the tree.
Okay.
25. And that's my turn.
Awesome. All right. So you look over and Iku,
Genji!
glowing in purple. You see her collapse down to all fours, and then you hear this huge roar as she morphs
Wait a minute.
into a werebear.
Oh. Still has fairy fire.
Still has fairy fire.
Look at that thing. Are you kidding me?
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh.
No kidding.
And her staff shifts into this, and while some of you have heard of and encountered lycanthropic creatures in the past. The fact that you've heard about they're a little bit bigger than man. This thing would stand over Jotun. It's absolutely huge, and is now throbbing purple, lumbering down, staring down at Bronson. And so it will make 2 attacks.
It gets to attack on the same turn?
I believe it does. Let me.
Because
check
that would
the
be
monster
her
manual.
action, right?
It might be to morph. That's a good call out. Let me look.
The attack position increased in size. It's like a movement, so that should trigger a.
Yeah. So that was an action to
6 attacks
be
of
able to
opportunity.
polymorph. So yeah, that's.
Sweet.
That is where it is at. So it is now lumbering down.
Because she's aware. That's breaks it.
Oh, I see.
Well done. Where's it at?
I can't bear it.
Ah! Get it out! That was terrible.
Get it out.
That was phenomenal.
Unbearable.
First that wordplay is.
Well,
Oh.
All right. So
no.
we then go to Hanzo. Hanzo.
Scatter arrow, sure.
Scatter arrow. It's been patched out again. Rapid
That's
fire now.
been a long since I played.
Yeah.
Here he comes right into my trap.
Is that your trap?
Standby action. 3 spells.
Did you say tree spells?
That'd be cool. Oh man, are you itching for another?
I need about 350.
Okay, so that Hanzo rears back his blade, but it's at a different guard than what you had practiced when you guys were growing up together. Very unorthodox look.
Okay.
And
Not
ready.
playing Yoshimitsu technique or anything.
Yes. Ready's for you. Then out of this window, two forms.
You didn't clear your corner.
Probably a good
There
thing
was
I
a reason
got out
why
of there.
Dave was told to get out of the building.
Because there's a giant fucking. Oh, okay, that's fair. There's that. You know.
You're about to get fireball.
And you see two arrows
It's $1, huh?
come shooting out
At who?
at Hugh.
Okay.
Good old Hugh.
One miss.
Fucking missile magnet.
I mean,
So he gets
true.
hit.
Oh, that's not it. Oh, okay.
And he has to make a Constitution saving throw. And fails. And so you see one arrow, for those of you that are sitting back here, goes shooting past, and it alerts you from the twang of the bowstring that there is something up there, and then the other one comes and hits, and you hear Hugh gasp out, and right where his shoulder would have been for the other arm, it goes in and hits, and you hear him go, "Aya!" And this kind of green pussy ooze starts bleeding down his side.
Oh man.
So that is their turn. Genji.
Perfect.
Oh.
Alright. I see Hanzo readied up. And I tell him that, Hanzo! Are you ready to lead?
You don't have your blade out.
This is true. What your warrior
Gotta
the
love
weapon.
it. This seems extravagant.
No, this is what needs to happen for the kids at home to
Yeah.
realize about knife safety.
Are you ready, Hanzo?
And he says, "Enough words, dog. Shut up and fight."
Alright, you have it your way. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4,
They turned
5,
into a
6,
Burger
7,
King
8.
commercial.
Range attack.
Got a speed of 40?
Yeah,
Barbarian.
he's a barbarian.
It's crazy.
Monks get a 2 at like level 2 or something.
24 and a 10.
24 hits,
Yeah,
10 does not. He takes his 2 swings at you as well. We'll adjudicate those at the end of this turn.
I don't want to cut my neck. It's too serious.
Well, no. Yeah, let's put the sword away. Yeah.
There you go.
Alright, that's 12 damage from the first attack.
We could have gotten millions of hits.
I can't wait for the name of that clip. It's like Weeaboo loser stabs himself on screen.
We could totally make all those video clips of Twitch streams go wrong.
We'd be on YouTube for everyone.
Oh, guy in weird monkey mask stuff.
Cosplay gone wrong.
Friends.
Sexy.
Friends just laugh.
Yeah.
That's a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood.
Somebody call the insurance company.
Not an ambulance.
It's gonna get expensive.
He told his wife, no.
12 damage.
Well, like, chat, can you clip that?
12 damage.
Yeah.
Somebody clip that, chat. That was so good. What time was that?
Alright, so as you come walking up, you see Genji very measured in his walk up. You see more of a loose, less disciplined look out of Hanzo, and they both start attacking at the same time. Genji is able to initiate a feint on his first slash coming in and brings it around really quick and hits him in the side. And you hear it, hit the armor and doesn't cut through. But the second time, he brings a blade, like flips it and brings it back on the same angle and cuts through, and you hear the first splatter of blood as it comes out. He takes 2 swings at you and misses both. Struck from that, and you see him pause in the action between the two of you and give you like a little bit of a regard, as in you've been studying.
With each stroke of my blade, Clan Yoshimitsu rises from the ashes, and like a phoenix of old.
Dude, that's awesome.
It really is.
Genji, any other bonus action? Would you rage?
I've already raged.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And I've attacked twice, so I think that I'm done.
Pretty good. Alright.
Do I have a sense of what this power imbuing me through the armor might be?
Any time that you've had the closest thing you would say to a religious experience with your ancestors, you feel like you have that, and that you can call upon them to help you. So you've got 4 charges of getting an advantaged roll, whatever you choose to.
Okay. So, and I would have my ancestors arrayed behind me.
Yeah, well, and that's what, to the outsiders, you're seeing these 2 ethereal dragons fighting each other in the sky, and whenever their landing blows and sword to sword hits, it's like lightning is going off and you're getting the boom and thunder's rolling through all this, and it is like the entire material plane is being brought into this, and it's not magic and it's not gods, it's kind of something different you guys have not seen before.
Does Yoshimitsu scream out, "I have the power of God and anime on my side"?
Someone fuck with me! I've got the power of God and anime on my side!
His sword turned into ramen.
Also, the Japanese Dragon Ball song is playing in the background.
Chala! Head chala!
Alright, so then you've got end of Genji's turn, so then these 2 are going to move up the hill. The hill, each tier is 1 difficult terrain.
So there's 10,
Yeah. Maximum
15.
speed of 30.
20, 25, 30, 15, 20.
You go up or
No.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything.
There you go. And they both do 2 attacks with thrown weapons.
Shuriken?
And one is going at Captain Caracas, and one is going at Zendala. And both of those miss. And go sail harmlessly past. The shuriken that hits the tree trunk behind Captain Caracas is coated in some kind of viscous green substance. Captain Caracas looks, and then he looks at Hugh on the ground. He's just craning his head back and forth. Doesn't look like he fights that much.
The turtle guy?
Yes.
Captains. The turtle.
Then you guys see something out of like a World War II movie where you get the Panzer cranes its main gun over and fires, and you guys see Zendala flip her staff and go and ruins the stone here just goes shooting out as the entire ruin centered on the second floor, a fireball explodes and blows out the ruins there. So let me do and she's gonna roll for the fireball.
So many D6s.
So you see bits and pieces of bodies go shooting out as the rubble starts collapsing and falling down, and one lone Keku comes walking out on fire and is just aimlessly kind of meandering.
It's amazing.
Which is really shitty because I'm actually going to switch minis out. Don't think that this means anything. I just think this is a prettier one than 10. So you switch those out, please.
And you're gonna light the other one on fire.
Yeah.
With some lighter fluid.
Oh,
We
great,
could do
great
that.
sound effect. And so he comes walking out and is a smoldering pile.
We got a flame here. Got it.
Oh, it's great. Oh, it's so great.
And so that is the end of her turn. Then we do right here. So he starts screaming and runs up. And will make an athletics check to tackle. God, I cannot roll more than single digits. And misses. Then Captain Caracas pulls up a hand crossbow and shoots over Hugh at the other one and misses. And misses. So arrows go shooting out of this small bolts going back and forth, and then he's got his hand on Hugh, and Hugh kind of grabs him for leverage to get pulled back a little bit, and he goes into full cover and starts rummaging through his back, or through his pack. So he's prone right there, and as an action is going to drink a substance out of a glass vial and drops the glass vial.
Wild target.
He's totally active.
That's what I thought.
It's better than getting so pitted.
So good.
Whoopah! Pocampo is going to move over and he puts his hand down on Hugh. And we go to the top of turn 2. Jotun, you have seen all this wildness take place. The flanking force that looked like it was going to cause some pretty significant damage was blown up and burn up. You hear a huge roar, but from where you look, you don't know where it's coming from, and you're assuming that one of those dragons sounds like a Kodiak bear.
So I saw the arrow hit Q, so
Yes.
my initial reaction is to turn around the corner, but after seeing Zendela destroy that building,
Yeah.
shrug my shoulders and keep moving. So I'd like to take cover behind this if possible,
Yes.
but I'm going to cast Smash Missile again at my
Okay.
target. Since they took to it so well the first time. 6, 9, 10, 11, plus 4 is 15.
Okay, so you end up shooting out, and this one ends up hitting really the pelvis area, and you see it hit, and almost like the ion cannon in Empire, whenever it hits the Star Destroyer and starts putting the electricity through it. It does here, and she starts to scream as she starts to catch a little bit of fire, and you guys realize that no, the way magic is behaving here is different. You would know this, Zendala would know this. It's not supposed to be like, normally it's like impact disperse instead of traveling through and going. I need you to roll on the wild magic table.
That's an old cheese.
D100, yeah.
Turns into a caterpillar.
You now fart flowers for the next. Do you
Green
have
pin?
do you have another character ready to go?
I guess if I
None of them kill you.
74.
74. A random creature within 60 feet of you becomes poisoned for 1d4 hours.
Define creature.
We're all creatures.
We're all
Yeah.
creatures.
No, within 60 feet?
It's basically
That's a good thing you
everybody.
tried to build it.
Hey, look, I've got a 60-foot template.
Yeah, it's just everyone.
It's
No, Hanzo's
these
out.
guys. Covers the hill.
Everybody
covers all
else?
these guys. Everybody else except Hanzo and Genji.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Got it. 12-sided dice. Come on, 12. Come on, 12. Come on, 12.
Oh no, go ahead. You should actually roll it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Come on, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12.
8.
12, 10, 9,
8.
no, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8.
No, you poisoned yourself.
So you are
Is he a
now.
creature within
Did
60
you get a
feet of
saving
himself?
throw?
Recount.
What's my philosophy score?
Yeah.
I think, therefore,
What's
I
up?
am poisoned.
No, it's
T-shirt.
just the wild magic table 74.
Wow,
A random
that is a
creature
good one,
within 60
actually.
feet of you becomes poisoned for 1d4 hours. Roll a d4.
Come on, 0 on that D4.
2.
Okay.
You are now poisson.
You've been croissanted.
Yes.
Poisson.
You have a disadvantage on attack and ability checks.
Yep, everything's disadvantaged.
Just attack and ability.
Pretty much every roll you ever make.
So not saving throws,
Fair.
which are important.
Cast a magic missile.
I think Dave is taking the key.
Yeah. Bronson.
Oh yeah. So he takes 2 swings at this lady, right? She dodges them deftly. Dave casts Fairy Fire on her.
Which is still active.
Yeah. Somebody hurt her already though, right? Also?
Yes.
How did she get hit?
The spiritual weapon.
Spiritual weapon smacked her. And then she turned into a bear. So she's a big glowing purple bear in front of me. So
It's like Barney, but different. You want night, sweetie? Come on in.
Your hair looks nice.
So Bronson's gonna make a lot of really bad bear puns and say, "Sorry to give pause before. This is unbearable. I'm gonna have to bury you 6 feet under. Forgive me for all of the blah blah blah." Yeah, taking 2 swings. So first one will be shatter. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's
Where's that? Where's the sauce?
It's over there.
Drink it all.
Oh, double tens. That must mean something.
Oh, we got a lot of dice
92,
rolling.
sweetie. All right, so
Does a 17
you
hit? I got it.
10 plus 8.
you need to draw one of these cards.
Ooh, are those the cards from Nord Games?
They are.
Oh, so this is our first Nat 20 in combat. We're
Good night.
leveraging that really cool critical hit deck
Night, night,
we
sweetie. I
got
love
from
you.
Nord Games.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Night, night, Clara.
Bye.
So pick a card.
Pick a card, any card. Any card. You pick a card.
All right. Hand that up to me now.
Sorry.
And then I believe we roll a d4.
Now you look at the damage type.
It's slashing, piercing, etc.
There should be a bludgeoning damage type on there. You have a little icon to the side.
Oh, okay. So piercing would be arrows. Slashing would be swords.
This is
One,
bludgeoning.
and then what's the fourth one?
Magic.
Magic.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're bludgeoning.
Yeah.
So you did quadruple damage, and the target loses one of its arms or hands.
Oh, yes! Wow!
I mean, it's shatter.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's supposed to happen, yeah.
So this is exactly what happens. So Iku,
That does not get along with our start at a base 8 of D8 and
Yeah.
then do it. I think it's just 4D8 probably, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Still
you
do like 5 damage.
you start out, the combat, and you notice how she was swatting things away.
Rerolling this one.
That's weird.
Okay. 8 and 4. 2 and 1, of course. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 19. 19 damage.
19 damage.
Does a 17 hit her?
The 17 does not.
Okay.
Does that include like
So just
any
19
AC
damage.
adjustments for being large now and all that?
So yeah, I blast her hand off.
And so she goes up the first time when spiritual weapon came down. She brought up the hand and hit, and was like, "Hey, this isn't supposed to hurt me." All right, spiritual weapon. He comes down with a flail, and so she goes to swat it away. And as you do, it just pastries up on there, and you guys hear this. And she tries to pull, and as she pulls back, the hand disconnects, and you have a bear paw now affixed to shatter as it ripples through. So let's give Dan a hand. Yay!
Just one hand.
Just one.
Let's give Dan a hand, a bear hand.
Let's give Dan a bare hand.
Oh man, between the bear punch and let me lend you a hand jokes now? Jeez.
Yeah, he barely had that handled.
Oh,
Puns are Ursula.
Alright,
I hand it to him.
your
That was
second
not bad.
attack ends up missing more because you're looking at the new decoration to your flail.
Splat and goes.
Yeah, like looking at the ball and you're like, "Well, that's cool."
Any bonus actions?
Can hit him again. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and use the action surge and just take another swing of shatter. Oh, API error.
Yeah, we did that earlier.
21 to hit.
21 hits.
I would assume.
Green.
Reroll that, so it's better. Okay, 5. 10 damage.
10 damage.
That's it.
Alright.
Thank you.
So a thorough display, and thankful that you had the purple light to guide you on that attack. We now move from Bronson to Valkyr.
Okay. As I'm walking on air, Tim, do you want to grab the thing, the floating platform? Thank you. Thank you, sir. Walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. Don't feel bad.
Still right in that second. I like the Valkyr picking my nose here on the screen.
That's right. I see it.
How do I chat in chat?
My chat in chat.
You could. Someone chat with us?
So as I'm walking out to here,
Yes.
I'm not even like looking. I'm going through my tarot cards in my deck, and that first one is Bane, and then I'm like, okay. The second one's Bane, and like the third one's Bane. And I'm like, and then I just go Bane, Bane, Bane. So all three. They gotta do a check.
Okay.
Weird, right?
Charisma 16.
Not an easy one.
Ooh. One fails. Two fails. Three makes it.
So you figure out.
Well, you ended your count over here.
Okay, so this one, Bane.
Yeah.
This one, Bane.
Yep.
And the other one's good. 'Cause it passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
She-Bane. She-Bane.
Oh man, that's so good.
Alright, so I'm done.
Wow.
There it is. You're right, desktop. We fixed it.
Okay.
That's it.
Pretty good now.
Good to go.
Are we all set?
So again, Valkyr taking an interesting road, more lofty in ways than your average individual, is hovering over everybody in the middle of a rainstorm as two ghostly dragons, one red, one green, fight, and rippling stabs of lightning shoot out from that conflict as two samurai are dueling each other on the pathway through a ruined city. We now go to Glaz. What is your action?
My initial is to use my movement to put myself within 30 feet of Valkyr.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hold forth my empty hand and pull out a small sprinkling of holy water out of my component pouch, throw it into the air, and cast Bless on Bronson,
Yeah.
Valkyr, and Jotun.
Okay.
And then with my remaining movement, 15, 20, 25, I move closer to the bear. And then with my bonus action that I have, I'm going to compel my spiritual weapon to swing at the werebear.
Okay.
Advantage, thank you. And Bane does what to it?
Negative
four.
D4.
When it's doing attack or saving throws, it rolls the d12.
21.
Okay.
It's a hit.
21 hits.
6 points of damage.
Nice. So another thwunk, and it's more, focused on its stump than on the fact that this apparition is swinging a blunted instrument at it. And it gets hit and turns pretty damn pissed.
It's going to rotate, use its movement to rotate around here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and use my action surge.
Okay.
Action surge!
Give myself another action, maybe, if I can find it. Under other, I'm going to use action surge. One additional action, so do one action. And my action is going to cast a spell.
Suspense is killing.
No.
It's not killing the monsters. That's for damn sure.
I'm gonna use my last 5 feet of movement to get here,
Too good.
and I guess I'll just swing.
Swing better, swing
Advantage.
better.
Advantage.
I'm now next to you.
Okay.
That means 25.
Yeah, 25 hits.
Darn tootin'.
Darn tootin'.
No, 23.
23.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. And Bronson, you're struck kind of by surprise as all of a sudden Glaz is like right there waiting in where the spiritual weapon had just thumped the shit out of this thing.
Sweet.
So now you were not alone, and you feel as if the way that she's positioned herself, that she's there to help, that you guys can do some coordinated stuff.
Yeah, we've really got our
attack
bearings.
wise.
Would you say we have a handle on the situation?
I think so. I think we have the situation in hand.
Well in hand?
Well in hand.
Because it's wet outside.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
There's a hand on
Don't
the
pull,
ground.
don't pull a hammy. So Hanzo is going to do his 2 attacks. Misses. I literally have not rolled out of single digits yet,
That's fine.
except for
Especially in
the
this
118.
That's right.
Is he recklessly attacking?
You wouldn't know.
That's my attack roll against him.
Alright, so both of those miss. As he is just dutifully trying to cleave you in half, swinging for the fences in every blow, and is just getting knocked back, blade knocked off course, and he is, just hulking out of breath, swinging wildly at you.
Hanzo, your ancestors have forsaken you.
Oh god. Iku is going to.
There's a lot of combatants. It's pretty cool.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's like a boss fight with the Avengers. There's something going on everywhere.
Yeah. Each character gets 3 seconds of screen time, and some shit happens in those 3 seconds.
I'm fighting a glowing purple bear. I'm pretty happy about it.
You
Destroyed
removed
building.
its arm.
Does an 18 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were. You've been.
Wait, who's
Did you take
attacking?
that at a disadvantage?
You're sentinel on me?
Sentinel.
Sentinel. Okay.
Is the bear
also,
attacking?
Don't forget the main roll.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I took the D4 off.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, so then the bite misses. And seeing that you have put your shield out in front, it will take its axe and swing down at you. And misses.
I barely even noticed.
I'm going to start taking inspiration points away.
What a drunk killer. So much fun with that.
Your choices, kid.
Not killing monsters, that's for sure.
Hop over there.
Get
him! Second degree.
So both those attacks miss. Then we've got these 2 here are going to. One's going to attack Knocker. And finally.
Oh.
No, knocker.
You have crit hit cards
I do.
too. Oh.
Hey, wait, which one attacked?
The one facing knocker.
So we've hit a crit from the DM on a NPC.
And there's a whole separate deck for
There's a
that.
whole separate deck from Nord Games.
And instead of it being, thank you, a monster.
Shit! I got you. Oh god, it's a chain reaction of shitting.
2 books down!
You've got napkins. Where's napkins?
There's 8 happening.
He's got his pants.
He's got pants. Can I bring top of the kitchen?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It used to have a roll in there.
We used to have an emergency.
But
roll
behind you,
ready
your
to go.
left.
Oh yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Are we good? Should I yell at Billy?
We got
Billy. Go Billy.
We got paper towels.
around and go with it.
Nope.
I think
Just
everything
right.
that needs to be dry is dry. Yeah, the cards, you save the cards. Your list
I
is
don't
good.
feel like, well, I mean, I can't get much worse than what we want to do.
Yes. You're good enough.
None of your good screen didn't get wet or anything, did it?
No, all the
Nah,
all the
my
dry
computer's
stuff's
not over
dry.
here.
No, it's not here.
No, no.
You can replace your computer.
This has to be reforged.
Yeah.
Well, we live
The
in
dwarves who made this aren't even around anymore.
We live in Clinton.
So they could make it.
That caravan only spawns in town once per month. The Dark Moon Fair is not coming around again until next season.
Dark Moon Fair.
I don't know how many tickets we had to cash in for that.
So the monster just hit the NPC character with
Yes.
a critical 20.
So now these have players getting stabbed instead of monsters.
So he's pulling from the Nerd Games critical DM deck. This is going to be interesting. These cards excite me. I'm sorry. I think they're cool.
Yeah, that one
I
was
tore a
dirty.
bear's hand off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear it on
Pick a
my
card.
necklace. Like,
Already the flavor has been
This
pretty awesome.
I'm worried for us though. Like you could lose an eye.
But I think they toned it down.
That's so good though.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so they have different categories on these cards, which is pretty cool. They got a deadly whenever the player came. So on the top left up here, you're going to see setback. So it's not as dire of a consequence. But he's been disarmed, so he gets to do double damage, and on a DC 12 Dexterity saving throw. Otherwise, he drops his weapon. So Knocker rolls and is disarmed.
It's only fair.
Oh, there's his weapon on the ground.
That's great.
So that's there. I got to roll damage for this. So Knocker gets a very, very painful slash across his forearm. As you guys that are nearby can see, tendons start balling up on either ends from where the incision came through as they're severed. And his fighting hand goes limp for a second, and his giant war club or battle axe drops down to the ground. And he only carries one weapon outside of what the menu displays there. I just like the menu.
Okay.
All right. So now that my own foolishness is behind us, then this one, then this Bane, is going to get into engage range with Jotun.
Oh, yeah. That's smart. Go after the giant.
Oh, you're poisoning the plus.
Yeah.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
You can roll D4 to add a
plus.
On the saving throw?
Yeah, same throws and tackles.
Yeah.
21 plus 2 is 23.
So these quarterstaff with almost like tiny little scythe blades down the corners of it come swinging around and get you. You're more pissed by how long the ripping sound through your cloak is being made, because you kind of like the garment, and you just hear this. Yeah, the devil does not want to go to sleep right now. And I may actually, I need to probably pop up there, make sure that we can get her down since there's like a baby as well. Actually, I'll just go get a baby for him.
Yeah. So,
I'll be ready.
man, get him his DM lessons early.
Okay, so our plan is.
My silks.
Seriously.
Yeah, you tear my silks.
But no, seriously, plan.
You blessed me too,
I
right?
blessed you. You're blessed too. So
Plus
we-
D4s.
plus D4 on the tags.
Not D6s?
D4s. The three of us will focus on this build. The thing is, if I get hit, I have to, my concentration can go, and then we'll lose blessed. So I need to aggro him again.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it, but it's best not to put the disadvantage on him for sentinel.
Yeah, but you don't want to be taking those hits necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I don't want the save throw and potentially lose the bless, because the bless can make a huge difference for us. We gotta get this bear down and then fall back to make this see this.
We're gonna bury that bear.
That bear is dying so bad.
Zendala taking out these two guys. Really.
I'm gonna put a bonfire under it.
The bear?
Yeah, it's 2d8, and then if he has to move, that's 1, 2, 3 opportunity attacks.
Are we gonna take damage for leaving Jason on fire?
No, it's just
in
in
5 foot.
And if he ends his turn, that's good, right?
And so if he started the next turn, he does another 2d8 damage.
Yeah.
So he'll just sit there and roast, or he can opportunity attack, and it's like
He's probably gonna try to slam forward, because if he slams forward, no one gets an opportunity attack because he makes it more slow on Jason turn.
But he's fucking Bane, and he's fucking disadvantage, and you get advantage on everything.
He's Bane. What's the other thing on? He's Bane.
He's Bane
Fairy
and
Fire.
and Fairy
Fair
Fire.
fire.
Yeah,
So we're at advantage.
that NPC has had better days.
How long is Fair Fire concentration?
No, you cast it and it's lit up.
Is Bane concentration?
For an hour.
No?
You have no concentration?
If it's
So-
anything over 5 minutes, we got plenty of time.
Yeah. Well, in 1 minute is
It's
10
10
rounds.
Yeah.
You guys do like chicken
No baby.
Shooting. You mean strategizing?
Well, I mean, it would be like putting in cheat codes compared to Eggs. Oh, dang.
Yeah, whatever you say over there, Admiral single digits.
It's just bad rolls, not bad strategy.
I mean, wouldn't
so
you want to build the strategy around that?
that
rolls?
one with the green ring around it went, and that was the last.
Touche.
Yeah, so we didn't adjudicate damage on
Alright.
that.
Throw down for the
That is 7 points of piercing damage. Alright, so those two have gone, Iku is gone. Yeah, so now down here, yes we did. I apologize for that. Yeah, it's your turn. You go after those.
Right, before I say, I'm going to say, ancestors, make me the instrument of your inevitable justice.
Yeah.
and then burn readiness.
Okay, you get an advantage on this roll.
On both attacks? That's the first attack? Which one?
Just the first one.
Okay, first attack. 14.
14 misses.
It's a 19 on the next one.
19 hits.
Just barely or see if
Ooh.
16.
Alright, so another huge stab of lightning
Oh, sorry.
as it hits, and there you go. And thunder rolls through, and you hear Hanzo as he's struck across the chest piece, and a chunk of it gets cut off of the armor, and he kind of takes a little bit of a step back and repositions himself, and you see him just hulking anger, breathing, going nuts. Yes.
Now Zendala?
Yeah. So she is going to do a ray of frost on the one that's directly over there next to Jotun. And so he rolls. Alright, so now can we put a blue on that one? Disadvantage on the next attack roll. And can only move half speed. Close.
Are you kidding me?
Close.
You just bounced that like ring toss onto that guy.
this one, right?
Yeah.
Darn it. You would.
It's pretty good that you hit that one.
Yeah.
Shoots down.
To be fair, I was aiming for that one.
To be fair.
I was gonna try to take credit.
Alright. She stays where she's at. Hugh has got the the arrow out, and Poe, has healed him. So he's going to stand up. Whoop. And start screaming.
Did you see screaming?
15,
far as he can move as he's running, making a beeline towards that son of a gun there. We'll go ahead and have Knocker pick his sword back up, so if you can remove that icon off, and that's how he's going to interface with the environment, and then we'll make an attack. And hits. So, using his non-dominant arm, Knocker reaches down, grabs this huge axe, and just brings with a backhand up like that, and catches this cat-like individual right in the face, and you see pieces of fang and teeth go shooting out and up, and part of the jaw has been cleft off. It was a very significant hit. Probably you think the maximum amount of damage that a swing like that could have done. Then Captain Caracas takes up his multi-shot crossbow and levels at the one in front of Jotun and takes 2 shots. First shot hits. Reload.
Is he at a disadvantage for being hit by Ray of Frost, or is that?
No, he's at half movement and on disadvantage on that next attack. Natty 1 on that one, so we're gonna go to the critical fail deck.
Yes! We want more! We want more!
And the critical fail deck has what looks to be a pretty peeved looking dwarf on there. The art on these is really nice, with some goblins behind them. So we will shuffle this one, and since Genji is the man of the hour, if you wouldn't mind, please take on your card. All right.
This nerd product is pretty cool.
So for the next, this one's called Is the Room Spinning? For the next 1d4 rounds, make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. At the start of your turn, on a failed save, you are blinded for that turn. So he lifts up for the second shot, and it doesn't quite seat properly and is jammed. And so whenever the firing mechanism goes to clear for the bolt to be loose and sent forward, it bends in half and the bolt snaps, swing it up, and a piece goes and jacks him right in the face.
Oh no.
And as he's trying to move his shielded hand up to guard it, bashes the shit out of his head. And so he's kind of flailing about. D4 rolls a 4, so for the next 4 rounds. Jeez.
Yeah!
Captain Caracas.
Oh wait, no, we didn't want that.
Yeah, that's your turn.
He's gotta make
Here
it.
goes.
Yeah!
Is it every round he has to make a save?
He's blinded, so he's
Well, no,
attacking
we
at disadvantage.
have to see next round.
Oh, if he fails
It's a
con
DC
save.
12, which isn't
Just
horrible.
4 rounds of that.
Well, actually, no. This would be round 1 because this is whenever it happens. So we'll see if he's blind. No, so he passes. So it didn't blind him up front, but there's a collection of wood fibers right on his eyelids. So at any moment, you think he could probably blink some accidentally down into his eye. So that's the end of his turn. Pocampo immediately reaches over
Combat
and.
music.
I had it going, but it cut out.
It died.
And heals him up from that damage. Alright.
Kill some shit.
So now, top of round 3, and we start with Jotun Aegis, who is in engaged combat with a some type of feudal monk from Kazakura.
Well, after a couple rounds of magic missiles and having this one get up close to melee range, just breathe a heavy sigh. Well, we'll do this one the old-fashioned way. Bring my quarterstaff back and go to attack with it.
Okay?
Twist his dick. Grab his dick and twist it.
That's 21 to hit.
Oh yeah.
4 damage.
4 damage. And
Take
so
that.
you hear a very hollow clunk as you catch her upside the head, and she swings her braids back and forth and prepares for another assault.
It knocks on her head with it.
Like an old man with a cane. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bronson.
Wailing on
Assuming
this
you
bear.
have no other movement or...
No, I'm staying.
Okay. Back to the Bear Chronicles.
Shatters first.
Dean, I hear you like it bareback.
That's
aggressive.
I kind of want to go ahead and re-roll that. Let's cash that in. Oof. What is that? 16 to hit?
16 does not hit.
Damn. All right.
You're
Next
blessed
one.
with
You-
+4?
Oh, I didn't.
Uh,
Oops, that's gone. Nope, I need that.
It's just only D4.
I found another one.
It's a 4. It's different. Never touching it again.
19.
that hits.
Whoa, I'm just throwing
Hashtag blessed.
There
Yeah.
we go. All right, next one.
No filter.
19.
19 hits.
All right.
Was that without the D4?
Yeah, that's true.
So roll your damage independently. I need Shatter rolled first.
Sure. Goddamn things are dying. I guess I can fix it in the middle. Okay. Reroll that, see what's better. God damn, it's the same.
Meant to be.
Dice don't lie.
So is that's going to be 8, 9, 10, 11 damage first?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's much better. So 8, where did it go? +4, so 12 damage on the next
So the second one, which is your non-magical weapon, hits, and it doesn't really seem like you're seeing damage like you think you should.
one. Yeah. Because magical damage needs to hurt the bear. It's annoying. Okay, fair enough. That's it.
Valker,
Do you get 3 attacks per round?
The
This here?
he can surge.
bear needs to do a dex saving throw of 16
wait. There's more damage on that.
minus his bane.
Hang on.
On which one?
4. Anytime I do damage.
Okay.
So D4 on the first one was 4. 4 on both. That was awesome. So 8 more damage. 4 of which magic, 4 of which no.
Please, Valker.
He does the dex saving throw and the bane. Is that an on as well? 16.
Yeah, does not. It's charisma,
Dex.
dex.
No, my charger
This
finally
one
got it.
actually made do it.
It's never happened before.
It happens to everybody once. It's okay, man.
We're all getting older.
That's right.
Getting older.
Just don't have the same charge that he used to.
I just think now it's totally acceptable for you to stand up, walk away, and make a sandwich.
So yeah, only +2.
least
So
somebody
yeah,
has to go
fails.
Okay, so the bonfire starts underneath him.
Oh.
And that's a female.
Her.
Her. Underneath her. Okay, so that's going to be 2d8.
We didn't start
14.
fire.
Oh man! So you guys start to smell a
Barbecue?
So
Fuck you.
you start to smell the telltale start of a campfire, and you're wondering, well, where's it coming from? The slaves are all cowering over there. What the heck's happening? And then sure enough, you start hearing the bear yell again, and now this purpley glow that's coming from that end of the map starts to get accentuated with the dancing licks of fires as this tower starts to raise up, and it's getting hot in there. So
I'm gonna use my incidental.
please.
Bears on the menu, boys.
You just want to move any closer?
No.
No.
Okay.
You just
Alright.
want to move like, just like
meta, bro.
10 feet that
No.
way.
No.
For the film. Yeah, I'll do that for the
Okay.
film.
Alright.
For the film quality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looked much better there.
Valkyrie kept going up Michael's nose.
Just gonna
It was just like, nyeh,
My nose with his knee.
Yeah. So Glass.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
Yep. Initially, I'm going to start with my bonus action, and I'm going to have my spiritual weapon swing at the bear.
Advantage.
At advantage.
Advantage.
Thank you. I don't think that 14 hits.
Nope.
Yep. And then I am going to swing with my warhammer at the bear.
At advantage.
That was cocked anyways. 18. 18.
18 hits.
17.
17 does not.
Yo.
18 does though, right?
Yeah.
Cool. 18.
Is it plus
What
5?
happened?
Yeah,
Are
it is
you
plus 5.
pulling a Dave?
It's plus 5.
It's plus 5. I was
Which number I have? It's a 19 hit. How about a 20?
I thought I caught my Sacred Flame 4 off the Dex hit AC thing or DC thing there, and that's what I was looking at. Anyways, it's 18. Confirmed.
Yeah, I saw it.
And confirmed.
He's a known cheater.
You can look at it
Notorious
yourself.
PKer.
You can look at it yourself.
6 damage just with my warhammers. I come in for a strike.
Yeah, so that, you would think that this would probably cause more damage than what it does whenever you hit it.
Okay.
But your spiritual weapon, has been hitting as you would assume it would.
Okay. I'm gonna cry out or scream out. My weapons don't do damage to this thing.
Our weapon has no effect.
All right. So, any other
That's
actions,
it.
bonus
I'm done.
actions?
Nope.
All right. So Hanzo is going to make 2 attacks.
Are they at Oh, Hanzo. Sorry. Green Ninja.
1 hit.
Finally.
2 hits.
Finally.
19 and a 21.
Go Green Ranger.
All right. Please make a Constitution saving throw
Against
at
poison?
advantage
Okay.
because your antitoxin that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if there's any effect.
15.
Yeah, 15 passes.
Okay.
Roll it for the second one, please. Same thing.
13.
13 is meat. So as that comes in, 2 pretty savage hits come in. Let's roll damage for those.
No more sound.
Still got about
What happened?
Phone's dead.
Get your fuck out of it.
Your phone is dead?
Yeah, use the charger.
More batteries?
More juice.
You need juice. Oh, wait. Does it have an iPhone one?
Yeah, that's the other one.
Let's just hand those out
Scrape
at
across the top.
conferences.
Yeah.
Does that have like over $25 in value?
I can't talk about that.
You can't use it, Dave.
We have you on camera.
It'd be a gift.
Well, if you look at kilowatt per hour charged,
Yeah,
then no.
fair enough.
He
Very
only
easy.
has the juice.
I don't think it's working.
It may be dead.
I
I,
think
had
it's
it plugged into mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me get you a
Multiple
charger.
portable
Get
chargers.
an iPhone charger.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. We just have no.
It's kind of a big
Is that an app?
Yeah. You want to just download DM DJ?
Yeah.
It's fine. You won't have all your favorites set up. That's okay.
Is it only in, well, I'll see if they have it in Play Store.
DM DJ. Check it out.
Check it
I'm
out.
waiting to see what Hanzo does.
Yeah, it is a really good app.
Sorry, gotta roll damage.
It's not in here.
Damn. Unless they got it from the iPhone store.
So that is 7 cut down to
I think
3
it was money too.
slashing,
Yeah.
and that is 10 cut down to. Oh, whoa! I forgot the plus. Sorry. So that would be a 5 for the first one, and then a 7 on the second one.
Okay.
Slashing damage for both.
Okay. Any poison effects?
No, that's what your constitution
Oh,
or
me.
2 that you
Yeah,
rolled.
B or B. Got it.
That you're me to beat.
Okay.
No, I'm fine. So again, 2 big stabs of lightning as these 2 big brawlers are just going back and forth. You start to see that his initial rage at Genji, and don't view it as like the mechanic for a barbarian, but just like that hatred that was making him just blind. He's starting to get some focus and landing with his blows as he's swinging. Eku is going to bite down at your head to try to consume it. So this will be...
Don't wait. Hold on a second. Don't say the results. Can you tell me the number?
-4.
Oh yeah.
You can
I
tell
got
me
it
the
in
number.
D4. 17.
So the bear's attacking, right?
Yeah.
And who's it attacking?
Glass.
See, but in this case, you knowing her AC,
But I don't.
you would already know the roll, but that information's out there that you could know.
So then, how do I ever use cutting words?
I would just like without telling you what the yeah shit
'Cause
yeah
it's
go
another-
ahead and we'll do it.
Let's
We'll
just
try not to
the
pay
bear's
attention.
attacking so and so. That's
Yeah.
what
So I'm gonna
yeah.
do cutting words.
Okay.
Because I can see it within 60 feet. It's making an attack roll. I can use one of my bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Blank that. Roll a die, a d6, and subtract the number from the roll. So it subtracts 2.
So that's 15. Yeah.
So those sure's gonna roll 1. That's too
If
sure.
there's any time.
Now would be the time.
So you have a bite that comes down right by your head, and it's looking up as
Getting
you
hot.
say.
Dude, what time?
Start singing Gloria Stefan over here.
And it is going to take an opportunity attack from Bronson as it hops over the embankment and goes to make a clawing attack at Glass.
So it's moving.
Yeah.
Which way? This way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Over the fence.
Does
So,
it get one from the
The
guy?
spiritual weapon should get an opportunity
Yeah.
attack.
Does it? Okay. Is
But
that
we're
an
doing-
athletic check
we're
to get
doing
over the
Bronson.
wall?
Not at all.
Crit. 19.
All right. Let's get him this last little bit.
Disgusting.
Will work.
All right. So a player.
Card? Yes! That's the second one!
Am I just killing him?
Yes,
Yeah, you are.
Look at my feet. They're dancing feet because they're happy. Dude, get a camera
Look
over
at
here.
him go! Timestamp.
Look at that.
Timestamp that one. Look at my dancing.
Really? Show me the card. Show me the card.
I like that one.
Yeah, it says win the encounter.
Soften them up. Triple damage, and the target
Triple
must make a. Yeah, we're not doing quad or triple. You just get an extra dice.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's.
That's way OP.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I just rolled the
With
dice.
the encounters you have?
What?
With the encounter strength you have?
Well, so instead of getting the baseline max damage plus another die roll times 3 or whatever,
Yeah.
what we're doing is you're rolling 3 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't start with the base 8, you just get 3 8s.
Okay.
Ostensibly, it's probably worse, but the
It's
top
triple damage. I mean,
Oh!
that could be 60 something damage just with a single swipe. It
Yeah.
could be a kill.
Well, the quad one is the one that's stupid.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, triple's pretty stupid too. Just wipe out a fucking CR12 monster. CR10.
25 damage.
25
That's
damage.
such a good hit.
And that's the line of what a rogue would do in a turn with a sneak attack. So
Yeah,
that's not
sure.
awful.
Yeah.
So now it has to make a Constitution saving throw DC 14.
Or
With the Bane?
Or I blast its other paw off.
So it is has disadvantage on saving throw for 1d4 plus 1 rounds. So for 2 rounds, disadvantage on saving throws.
Mardi Gras.
So would you say she showed her bare chest to get those?
That's good! I would say she was giving out handies for beads.
Oh, she did give a hand away.
Oh.
For sure.
There's kids watching this show.
Oh, they just stacked though. It's too good.
Really, Aaron Scoutmasters? Really, Aaron Scoutmasters? Really?
Come on, man. Kids program. Those kids are the ones dealing with those scouts.
It's not getting better!
It's a kid's problem.
It's a kid's problem. We're relating with an audience.
Do we have
Hard-hitting
mature
issues.
audiences, like,
Yes,
okay.
okay. Mature audience day 1.
Okay.
When I heard we were playing D&D with Alec, I was like, mature audience.
I miss Alec.
Cut all their heads off.
Spiritual weapon, make your attack.
I break all their heads
Yeah,
off.
like, what the fuck?
That advantage.
Thank goodness.
Dude.
It misses.
Oh.
It doesn't miss as bad as the first miss.
Booze, right?
He's got
No, no.
Oh, the one.
It was an advantage. So.
Oh, okay.
Disadvantage. Their advantage.
All right. Boom, boom. So that's the end of her. Then we've got these 2 down here. So the one directly in front of Jotun is going to get the first attack at disadvantage. Go ahead and remove the blue ring. And misses. Otherwise, that would have been a nice shot. Second. That misses as well.
Lee, not that I'm keen to do this, but did you take the swipes after she jumped the wall to swing at me? We adjudicated our opportunity attacks, but she jumped the wall to do something to me, didn't she?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, no, she missed the claw attack.
Okay, I didn't catch
Yeah.
the miss. Sorry.
Yeah. And then the one that's up there next to Knocker is going to do 2 attacks. That would. Fuck, fuzz is that? Anyway, 2 hits.
Should we zoom in on the bear? I feel like we should zoom in on the bear.
Oh, you can just do this.
Yeah, pull over here so I can see. Or not the bear, but that fight and the bear. All the actions over there mostly.
Knocker has been down.
That's here, right?
Yeah.
No, Nalka's been knocked out.
Who is that person over there?
You see him coughing as he's lurching there on the ground, and foam
Oh.
is coming out of his mouth
Oh no.
as he's writhing around in pain on the ground, and you hear Caracas yell out at Knocker. Dude, look how clear that is. Beautiful camera shot. Alright.
So you call for zoom in.
So at the end of the that set of action, Genji has been waylaid by 2 pretty big blows, but still holding his ground and has the advantage so far in the contest as far as hits landed. Genji, what would you like to do?
So to Hanzo, I'm going to say, your ancestors have weighed you and have measured you, and you have been found wanting. And I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
Right here.
Nice.
Do you have like a book of these, or?
Also, can you do it one more time while I have you on camera?
It's only good the first time. So it's a 20 to hit on
20
the
hits.
first one, and then the next one, the regular attack, is going to be a 21 to hit. So it's 46 plus 12.
46.
Yeah. Well, it's 2 attacks already.
Oh, jeez.
10, 18, 30 damage between 2 attacks.
Cut him up.
So he is bleeding pretty profusely at this point.
Hansel, repent before it is too late for you.
And he says, "We were brothers in the sparring field. We will not ever be brothers again."
Oh, okay.
And spits blood in your general direction.
Did he spit it like right at his feet where it's shown on the video?
It's some guy's arm that he's just been carrying around and drops it every single time with his big powder of cocaine. Sprinkles his coke around, gets all ragey. And
How did the bear's arm get all the way over there?
yeah.
It was disarmed.
Wah, 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 wah.
Still not loving it.
Get back.
That's really underhanded of you, dude.
See, now that's better. No.
Prejudice. From the top.
All right.
Political situation.
Any movement?
Negative.
All right. Then we go to the rest of the party. So let's move Hugh up, and Hugh comes screaming around the bend
1, 2, 3.
and
Yodelay.
makes his attacks.
You gonna pay for that?
We don't have, so I'll take more of this.
Oh, God.
So he
Oh,
crits
jeez. I don't know.
because we don't have any of the good stuff. So we get the great stuff.
Murder.
So he comes around the corner screaming. I guess, yeah, so it would be one of these.
NPC crit? Yeah.
And this is a double damage, and the target must make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, and the target is knocked prone.
I like it.
Some of these based on the damage modifier too, we can just use our damage modifier and then just delete the second effect.
Yeah, we need to. We'll talk about that in the hot wash.
Yeah.
And the reason why she goes prone is Hugh lops her leg off above the knee. And you see her start screaming as there's a steady, like,
Oh, Kill Bill.
with each heartbeat spraying out. And Hugh kind of chuckles, and in his biggest attempt at a Texan accent, "We struck oil, boys!" As it's spraying out everywhere, and he's like holding his one arm out, laughing as it's just raining blood down on him. You're getting a little bit on your torn cloak, and that individual is bled out and dead.
Who is a sick man.
Great, isn't it?
He's great.
You love it. You gotta love it.
Oh, yeah.
Then
Is it
Zendala.
off color.
Oh, it's terrible.
Zendala is, you see her take out these kind of cotton fibers, moves her hands around her head, and claps.
The stream is a couple seconds behind, so I'm getting to relive all of how bad this
Look at this, it slowly slips down.
I missed absolutely 100%.
Oh, it was bad. Oh, be thankful.
And this individual is polymorphed.
That was the verbal equivalent of microwaving fish in the break room. So bad. So offensive.
So, you now have Caracas is going to take the dash action over to Knocker and stand there. Pocampo is going to dash over to Knocker as well.
Has Pocampo just been stirring his pot this whole time?
No, he's been healing people back there. And that brings us to the top of round 4. Jotunagus, newly freed from engagement,
Yeah.
newly singled.
I'm gonna quick high five Hugh with this
Ready
one.
to go.
Let's see if I can get in range of the bear here. 5, so I can sneak around here. I should be able to see him from there, I think. I'm gonna cast Frostbite.
Yeah, that's good sight.
So I gotta make a con 14 save.
And you're like a certified Legion judge, aren't you?
Fails.
Seven damage. So many rules.
7 damage.
Any other effects?
His disadvantage on the next weapon attack.
All right, let's.
What do you mean?
We gotta put another marker on there.
On the bear?
Yeah, we got a blue one over here.
Okay.
There we go.
What do you mean?
Oh, there's already blue on him.
Yeah, it's a skinny blue.
Skinny blue.
He's got a fat
It's only for one turn.
One round.
Okay.
All right. So yeah.
What is that one?
That's my two.
Next attack roll is disadvantage.
Yeah. Or frostbite. Frostbite.
All right. Then Bronson.
Oh yeah, we gotta kill that bear.
All of it. All of it.
What you doing, Bronson?
So I can move through your square,
Yep.
right? So I'm moving right up into the bear's face, swinging at him twice. First one shatter. Still fairy fired, right, for a minute?
He's very fired.
It's fairly fired.
Don't forget about your bless.
Ooh, don't even need it.
Did you roll an advantage?
Yeah. So that was a 26 to hit.
26 hits.
That's a shatter. And a 22 to hit.
Nice.
So that looks pretty good. So this will be shatter first. Oh, re-rolling that. Right? Yeah, that's fun. 7, 8 damage on 8 magic damage.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, it's stacking up.
5. So 9 damage normal.
Okay.
That's it.
So the flails are starting to stick in, and as you're pulling flesh away, you're seeing ribs exposed.
Oh, gross.
There's a decent amount of blood trickling out of this thing. Any other movement?
That's it.
Quibs?
That's it.
Val?
Quibs.
Can you bear another one?
I'm gonna reach into my little pouch on the side.
Center pouch,
And then I'm gonna pull out a feather and go, what can I do with this? And then the bear's like down here below me, and I'm gonna go, oh, does that tickle? Does that tickle? Does that tickle?
Tasha's
Tasha's
hideous
hideous
laughter.
So
I hate you. I hate you.
So he's gotta roll a wisdom check at disadvantage with Bane. And beat 16.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was good.
You give
And
him the gauntlet or
fails.
flaming fist?
Oh.
Fail. So put the Mardi Gras participant prone.
Unable to stand up
In the name of the flaming
for the
fist.
duration.
Screaming there.
Now every time you hit
don't
it,
even
it gets to
joke about
recheck to see if it can stand
So
up.
bad.
Yeah.
It's how long does that last for?
A minute.
Ooh, that movie.
Alright. I just need to mark my concentration, that's why that's there. So
Okay. Anything else you're gonna do?
no.
Okay. Glass.
Yeah, so since he's prone, I'm gonna take this opportunity to step behind my friend here for my movement.
Nice.
And then for my action, I'm
So he can still reach out. It's at disadvantage though,
Sure.
as an opportunity attack, which would be a double disadvantage.
How does that work?
Well,
It doesn't.
it doesn't.
okay.
And misses. So take the marker off for disadvantage on the next attack.
That was a little bit of the night.
Yeah, skinny blues.
Okay. No, we know. We're tracking them. And
It's like
then
the bubble fart Anixia gives out, just like all the debuffs that are on here right now.
I'm gonna point my. Actually, I can't do that yet because I don't have that. I'm gonna interact with the environment, throw my warhammer into my belt, and point my fingers at the bear and say, and cast Sacred Flame on him.
Oh, nice.
Dex 14, but it should be at disadvantage because it's prone.
And Bane.
No, for the Bane, yeah.
Well, the disadvantage is a check. Remember, he's disadvantaged on all checks because of that crit.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
only
saving
attack rolls. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
He's fine.
On the crit card?
On the crit card.
The
is
crit
what
card
he's
is-
talking about.
But this is a saving throw. It's not a check.
Yeah, it's saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Fails.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 2d8 damage. 4 damage.
Average.
Okay.
Well, slightly.
And then my bonus action, I'm going to move my sacred.
So it smells like Western sizzling over here right now. You get a good little
Spiritual
fat cracklings.
At advantage.
Every time he takes
Thank you.
damage, he gets to make
And
the
twice,
wisdom
because it's prone
throw
and has
to see if he
very
can
fun.
stand up.
I hit it.
Tasha's hitting
Oh,
his
yeah,
laughter,
that's true.
after they become
But it's still
incapacitated, so they
disadvantage.
can't take advantage actions or reactions.
Oh, they can't?
They can't do like attacks or anything.
So
Okay.
it still has that blue ring. on
Still
it.
has it on there.
But
But it has been hit twice.
yeah.
Not since the laughter. Laughter is the most recent.
Yeah, he's
No,
only
no,
hit
it's been
once.
hit twice by Billy since the.
Oh, after the laughter?
Yeah,
yeah.
so it gets the check again.
Yeah,
Laughter's
disadvantage
the after?
and Bane.
Misses.
Well, those are saving throws, right? They would be disadvantage.
It makes a saving throw when it gets damaged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's advantage if it's triggered
Misses.
by damage.
Okay. Oh.
It's a lot of crying.
So now we've got to...
After the laughter, advantage from damage.
First one is a no-go.
Is that include the negative D4 for?
Well, because it's not even close there.
Oh, okay.
They're rolling low. So yeah, we're caught up.
Yeah.
Roll your spiritual weapon damage.
Yep. I did. No, that was my lost star damage. My spiritual weapon damage, it hit. It was 23 to hit, and it does 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Okay.
And then for my incidental, I'm just gonna scream out, he's on the ground, it's time to swarm him.
Okay. Then Hanzo is going to turn.
Away from?
Get turned?
You get an opportunity attack
Oh, yeah.
as he runs back.
20 to hit.
20 hits.
12 damage.
And is staggering as he's getting back.
Maybe he's gonna try to go kill my sister over here.
And I need you to move me next to her.
Ooh. 6 squares right there.
Well, he's in a rage.
Okay.
So he looks up at you, and you see him hold a signet ring up on his gauntlet, grabs her, and a door opens. Anybody have counterspell?
No, not counterspell.
And it closes. Roll a perception check at advantage.
Oh, he was within single
23?
digit points of dying, I bet.
So
What
with
did
that
it do?
23, whenever you see the dimension door open,
Yeah.
what you see is in the opening credits, you see this skull carved out of stone with a river that is slow-moving water out behind it, and you can see an entrance down towards what looks like some kind of cavern or something of the like, and it the door closes and Hanzo and your sister have disappeared. You were I shit you not 3 hit points
All I had to do was crit him once and that was it.
away from killing him.
How much max damage do you do on a hit?
You did like 30 on a turn last
No,
time.
no, but like
Max damage on a hit while raging.
like
is
right then you did hit
18.
for 12. So if you hit for 15.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
a real
rolled-
shame.
I rolled a little better.
What a dickbag.
So then
Thoroughly unsatisfying.
dead.
You're dead.
So Genji's turn.
All right. Well, how far away is that bear? Because I'm really frustrated right now.
They're gone, right?
No.
Yeah, they're off.
Oh, that's
How far can he move?
8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you could get over to here
Yeah.
easy.
Okay. So I'm gonna make 2 attacks at advantage on the bear.
Onward.
First one is a 22.
That hits.
Second is a 21.
Yeah, that hits.
Not a magical weapon, so I'll roll the damage individually. 9, so that's 15 damage. Really wish I'd rolled that last time. And then 17. Damn it!
You are hitting in, and it doesn't seem like your blade is causing any damage to this thing.
Jeez.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Keep going on the way.
Yeah. And so you're just hearing like this, old flour bag getting beat by a baseball bat as it's like Office Space, and people are surrounding this printer, just beating the ever-loving shit out of it.
It gets the saving throws for the
Yeah.
candy weapon.
So 2
Or else he gets the hose again.
misses. Oop. I'm gonna roll the d4 now. Nope. So still laughing maniacally to where it's getting uncomfortable over there right now. The amount of damage to this thing that Iku is sustaining, is just getting the shit beat out of her.
Is that a hen song?
All right. Yeah. So they're all dead. So then.
These hideous jokes.
It's so
So they stabilize. They stabilize Knocker, and Captain Caracas steps around and yells for Hugh and points his hand crossbow directly at the polymorphed animal over there, and Zendala waits for Hugh. Hugh can move max of 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So he's right there, not in attackable range yet, still covered in blood. And Zendala is going to do a ray of frost on it. And that hits. So I need a token on it for it being at disadvantage for the next round. And we go to the top of round 5. Well, so that's yeah, that's true. So it is unpolymorphed. That is a good call out.
Okay, it's the bear.
No,
The thing.
right here.
Okay.
All right. All right. So now, top of round 5, Jotun-Aegis, what do you do?
Seeing that bear is still prone. The only non-range spell that I have is Frostbite again, so con 14 save, please.
Okay. It beats. Oh no, Bane. It beats.
3 damage then.
Okay.
No qualifiers.
And you're seeing just this horrific view below as there's frostbite that has blackened some of the pink belly that's been exposed, and it looks almost like necrosis going through there. You see the ribs expanding and contracting as it's trying to breathe. Bronson.
Yep, gotta smash this bear. Right?
Yeah. You gonna attack?
Oh yeah.
You gotta roll dice to do that.
Ew. 16.
16 does not hit.
Ew.
You got your blast to that?
No. 19.
19 hits.
Keep forgetting it. Like
That's okay.
It stays.
It's my job. It's the one thing I can do. As a cleric. Bless you. Bless you.
damage. Magic.
So the shatter comes down and hits right on the neck, and you see it almost jellify as a shockwave goes through and then just grapes, and the head goes shooting off as if somebody tiddlywinked it, and goes flying out through the air, slowly turning back from a bear into a human head as it goes, and you see this tumble of braids roll through the ferns as you have killed your first lycanthrope.
That was non-fatal damage. I'm just kidding.
And the head turns to you on the ground and says, "That really hurt."
Just a bunch of flesh.
Sweet. We just killed the werebear, guys. And it weren't even a problem.
No, it wasn't. You guys have been rolling really well.
That wasn't terrible.
Oh,
It was
Oh, the bear paw. Does it turn into a human hand or stay a bear paw?
It turns into a human hand.
Well, that's lame. He peels it off and goes, "Oh, gross." Who would want
And you
this?
actually hear what
Boing.
sounds like you're at the deli counter at the supermarket, and they're doing like the
Oh yeah.
as it starts to shrink down. You just hear the barb on your flail slowly ripping the hand apart as just a tumble of fingers
Yeah,
and
he,
flesh.
he peels it off and flings it at the head.
Okay.
Good, we needed those counters, man.
Oh wait, do we have any more hostiles?
One bear.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my way over there 30 feet.
Okay.
Got it.
I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's it.
All right. Let's see. Valker.
So what is that? I've never looked over here. I'm gonna look over here now and see. Well, what is this thing?
It's the breed escapes
Tabaxi?
me. Well, it's a type of tabaxi. I can't remember
Does
the
it
one.
have a weapon?
It looks like a fox. Yeah.
What kind of weapon?
It's a pole arm that it has with a blade on top of it. So
Okay.
like a long staff with a blade. Not a lot of metal in its hand. What?
Is it wearing armor?
No, it's wearing pajamas like a gi.
It's not. Oh, it is wearing a gi.
Does it have any metal in its teeth?
Is
No
there
fillings.
Is there metal in its teeth? All right.
Extremely disciplined in its dental
Firebolt,
hygiene.
Does it have
which is a +8 and my D4 from Bless.
Yes.
There's what's the green on that guy?
Not Bane.
It's a-
It was
it's a
from the
damage.
critical
Okay.
It's from the frost.
critical hit.
Ray of frost. Is what it is.
Oh,
It's
that
a
was-
disadvantage roll on it.
Oh, that's right. That is right. Yeah.
26 to hit.
26 hits.
Right, and then we're gonna do 2d10. First one. Wow. 4. 8 damage. Okay.
2 4s. That does mean something. How do you want to end combat?
Jump down some to your face.
Get in the camera.
Narrative in the camera. How you in combat?
What's your name?
I want to shoot.
Yeah.
I want to shoot
What's your
fire.
name?
I want to shoot fire.
What's your name?
I didn't know. Hello, friend. You might want to grab some oven mitts because it's gonna get hot in here.
And so he casts it, and you see the blade at the end of this pole arm start to get hot, then red hot, and he's got it held back as looking across all the individuals encroaching towards, and doesn't see that the like the really tight twine and sinew that binds it on there has lit a flame, and then this flaming brick comes falling off the top, goes in through the top of the neck, and just starts sizzling as he's screaming, trying to get that Charlie horse out from in between his shoulder blades, and then slowly falls down to the ground. Will that work?
Yeah.
Yeah. You are out of combat.
I'm gonna move over to where the dimension door was and just fall to my knees, weeping that I have failed my ancestors.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
And that's where we'll leave it tonight.
Nice.
Okay. Sounds good.
Very nice.
3 more damage.
This is beautiful.
So I think what tonight
That was epic.
proves
That
is
was
that if you know your character, that can make the difference between killing things and not. I think there was about 4 or 5 different times where we were able to catch each other on, well, there is also this feature going forward. I thought it was done really well. It's sad that revenge was not able to be taken, but we do have a lot of questions left unanswered. What is that skull that you see, and what is its significance? Where is that within Schult? You had a over 20 success, so this is going to play into any type of recurring nightmares that you have about that event, and any ways that you're trying to go back to it. So make sure you keep me honest on that going forward. But we really do appreciate everybody coming in and bearing with us a little bit longer session. than what we normally do. But
Do you have an outro? Or
wanted to. I don't have an outro recorded.
No, like just the quick recap of
Yeah.
events of the evening.
Yeah. So today we consolidated at the stern section of the multi-layered cod as it was aflame.
So bad.
And as you guys progress south with some excellent tactical movement, extremely timely, critical successes on perception checks. Everybody was on their toes, and I think a testament to how the group is bonding and gelling together. Everybody was really using their strengths and mitigating weakness as well. So you guys were able to progress through. Catch up to where Hanzo has revealed himself, decided not to pursue the samurai arts when growing up, as you heard Genji call out to him, and be surprised if he was in ninja attire, but to see him take up the bonds of it's extremely unusual.
And it also explains his relative lack of proficiency with the samurai weapons and techniques.
And so you see a fairly one-sided duel between two evenly matched foes. Genji comes out on top as far as honor, but it was unable to secure his what appears to be pregnant sister. And this is turning into a soap opera. As I just said that aloud, kind of cheesy.
If you had managed to cut his head off, and then we end the episode, and we come back next episode, and you turn around and he's dimension going with your pregnant sister, then we really
whole
would
different narrative line at that point.
Yeah.
What if the door opened and his twin brother came out?
Whoa.
Jeez.
And his name would be like Drake or something like that.
I mean, from a
Alright, give us the.
Yeah.
from a story perspective, I think Hanzo getting away is better. It's a better way of doing it from a story perspective because it keeps the tension there going. But like as far as like what would Genji be thinking right now? I'd be extremely frustrated. He was
Can we get bracelets that say what would Genji do?
He's frustrated.
No, I think that's no, I don't think that's a bad thing.
So we had some pretty interesting combat, pretty interesting road on the way down. So looking forward to seeing where next week takes us. Until then, enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you back for episode 7.